What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 12ts Chapter 221 Marijoy, I want to live for God. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement. I don't know if Whitebeard will be interested in me, or will I be scared? With an unidentified smile on the corner of his mouth, Ran slowly stretched out his hand, and a fairy light bloomed in his eyes. Stab, One Piece world, where the Earth is. In the most central position of the Red Earth continent, the sky above the peak, once again found a space gap, and it expanded countless times in an instant, and countless thunder and lightning snakes roamed. What happened? What are you going to post? There is great terror. Isn't the battle between the gods not over yet? Didn't it end with a victory for Whitebeard's side? It always feels like something big is about to happen. Idiot, the Heaven Dough is going to be overturned. Naturally it is a big thing. You still play rhymes at this time? 66 It's like the powerlessness and palpitations of ants when they see the flood coming to the sky. At this time, the residents of the pirate world Earth looked up to the sky and looked at Fangshang, where the peak of the Red Earth continent was located, feeling a sense of terror that the world was about to perish. No one knew what to post, all were waiting. For this, the Tianlong people who live on the top of the Red Earth continent, that is, the holy land of Marijoy, feel the most profound feeling. Just because the Crackhook has the largest position, it is at the top of the Red Soil continent, above their holy land. The feeling of terror is also their deepest. He was so profound that he knelt down trembling, his face twitched, he couldn't speak, only his eyes were full of disbelief, humiliation and fear. They seemed to be asking, how can it be? They are the masters of this world, the most noble nobles in the world, and the only high-end people, how could they face such fear? They are the descendants of the 20 kings who established the world government 800 years ago. They are the descendants of the Creator. They are noble in status and even disdain to breathe the same air as ordinary people, and wear bubble hoods on their heads. For people of other races, being a slave is an honor, not as good as a dog. They have all the privileges in the world and no one dares to offend them. The Admiral of Headquarters or CPO, who are famous on the sea, are but their most loyal lackeys, and must be called upon to protect them when they are in danger. With Lugo's noble blood flowing, and with Lugo's high-end status, why would an unknown super-existence kneel down and suffer humiliation? At this time, above Marijoy, only 5 people remained on their knees. No, it should be said that there is only one person who has not knelt down yet. In the deepest part of Marijoy, among the flowers, on the throne of the void sits a queen, with a person kneeling in front of her, who is now the highest power representative of the world government, 5 elders. Advertisement, Lord Yimu, how should you handle the matter of the gods? Then Whitebeard, do I want us to cook it ourselves? The 5 elders asked timidly. Swept them away, speechless in his eyes. It's not that I didn't see the battle between Ran and Fujino Kome before, it's an existence that can blow up the world. Do you take the initiative to be hostile to it, and seek death from the district police? They are arrogant, and that is the reason for being arrogant. No matter how chaotic this world is, no matter how wild the pirates are, they are nothing but rats scurrying around and dogs barking wildly, which can be treated as a monkey show. In the face of absolute strength, there is nothing to fear. Tianlong people are supreme. But now, when a strong person with the power to destroy the world finds out, if he still can't recognize himself, he is stupid. She's not stupid. Touch Whitebeard and ask, I am ready to let the 5 elders touch Whitebeard. What is the strongest man above the sea? In her eyes, he is also a burly man, and being known to her is already the biggest taboo. But the other party is suspected of being able to get in touch with the world-destroying god, so his identity is half noble, and he can meet and even talk to her. If they can face the god, the Tianlong people may no longer have to breathe the low-level air in this world. Thinking of this, was a little hot inside, but she hasn't finished speaking yet, but she feels like a catastrophe. Not an abstract description, but a simple adjective. Roar. Suddenly got up and went outside, but seeing the scene in the sky, she was immediately stunned. Looking from the earth to the sky, you can find that the entire sky has turned into pitch black. It wasn't dark, it was cracked. The black parts are all cracks. But how could there possibly be a crack wider than Marijoy? But even more shocking is yet to come. I saw a big hand sticking out from the crack. This hand was so big that it instantly became bigger than the entire Marijoy, and the edge could no longer be seen. Then, in the eyes of countless people who were sluggish, shocked, unbelievable, etc., the palm that covered the sky fell, and the fingers were slightly bent, inserted into the ground, and wrapped the entire Marijoy. This kind of feeling is like an ordinary person reaching out and inserting his hand into a sandy ground to pick up the sand. Advertisement perhaps, for this big hand, there is no district police in essence. Boom. Everyone felt the shock. The whole Red Soil continent is shaking. Then, the highest peak suddenly broke, just like the top half of a bamboo shoot was suddenly broken. But the reality is that most of the highest peak in the Red Earth continent was grabbed by the gods with one hand. The mainland store style, which has a range of more than tens of kilometers and a height of more than a few brown rice, was actually caught by someone like playing with mud. Then, under countless gazes, thunder appeared in that hand, reshaped the half of the peak, and then slapped it back to the peak with a slap. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise that reverberated between heaven and earth and continued without dispersing. The entire Red King continent vibrated with the central point as the source point, and for a while, the smoke and dust rose to the sky, covering the sky. However, although the laterite continent shakes, it does not cause damage, nor does it affect the ocean. It's as if some kind of force is limiting. All are sluggish. As the initiator, Rai nodded in satisfaction. This time, he did not rely on the powerful immortal power to transform the hook. A big hand, but directly executed it with the hands of the body, without even using the law. All that can make the hand huge is thanks to having that special small world. As we all know, when the Pengu god tier opened up, he stood upright and embodied everything. In turn, the world can be regarded as the whole of a person. And dying is a little more advanced, and it can turn the world into a part of itself. Therefore, when acting with the power of the world, his current physical strength can easily hold up a world about the size of a small world. Although the pirate world is an intermediate world, the Earth where the pirates are located is only a planet in the world, which is far worse than the small world. That is to say, with the diligent hands of the world, Ran has already picked up the stars with only one hand. This time, whether it was giving Whitebeard a gift, or in order to get rid of the nausea he felt when he saw Tianlong people in his previous life, he chose to do it once and for all. At the same time, in order to pave the way for the world of swallowing pirates in the future, a seed was planted in everyone's heart. At the same time, he also used Whitebeard's mouth to create a little image in the group. There are 10th order small worlds and 10th order powerhouses in the ordinary world, but they are completely two concepts. Moreover, if such a large mountain is lifted over and then smashed to the ground, it collides with a small-scale continental plate, and there is no regional police, and it can easily set off a mitigating earthquake and tsunami. At least enough to destroy most of the red soil continent and destroy most of the pirates. However, Ran used the power of the fairy to forcibly offset the seismic waves. Brother Monkey gave too much at the beginning, he can be ho-ho. Advertisement of course, it's not that you don't want to be contaminated with karma. He is not evil. Gone. Ran withdrew his hand and chose to return. At this time, several figures appeared around Gao Feng, staring blankly at the scene in front of him. The peak in front of us is still the peak, but there are no flowers and trees, no buildings, no, between flowers, and there is no world government in Marijoy, the holy land of Tianlong people. There's nothing left, replaced by endless red. That's not blood, but the color of the soil itself. But in the eyes of the few survivors, such as I am and the 5 elders, it was blood. The dragons are extinct. No, not extinct. The world nobles of the Holy Land Marijoy are the descendants of the 20 kings who established the world government 00 years ago, but the descendants of the Neferutari family lived in Alabasta and refused to enter the Holy Land, even if they were disqualified from the open-air dragon. Therefore, only 19 kings settled in the Holy Land of Marijoy. There is also Don Quixote Doflamingo's father who gave up his identity as a dragon man and left the Holy Land Marijoy with full security, so he was also disqualified as an open-air dragon man. So now this matter is one thing, they have become the only remaining Tianlong people. Sir, I am. Until the big palm that covered the sky was retracted from the space crack, and the crack dissipated, the clear sky reappeared, and the 5 elders turned around and looked at Ruin blankly, wanting to ask her what to do next. They were all shaking. That is the fear of unsolvable power. Even I am not much better. Go to Whitebeard, I'll go in person, I am said through gritted teeth. Vengeance? Asked one of the 5 elders. Yimu glanced at him and said bitterly, do you think we can escape from the situation of just being in love because we are strong? The inquirer trembled and shook his head quickly. In front of such existences and such means, they are no different from ants. If the other party has the heart, they can't escape at all. Obviously not deliberately pursued. Find, Whitebeard, beg to see that god, and seek will. Yimu knelt down in the void and said sternly, for the rest of my life, I will live for this god. 5 elders. Those celestial dragons just died. Chapter 222 Honkui and Carmela fight previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement open black lens bracket Whitebeard close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Whitebeard close black lens bracket. Shi Xiao. Father, what happened to cause you to lose your temper? Open black lens bracket Eisen close black lens bracket. It seems that the battle between the Die Manager and the Master of the God Space is earth-shattering. Tony Starr, I just said don't close the live broadcast, let's watch it for a while. Hi Harai. It seems that what happened is really big to make the white-bearded father so shocking. Everyone in the chat group was puzzled, except for Luo Hao and Selenum Nigram, even if the others knew each other the shortest for a day or two, plus the memory copy provided by Zhuan Xiaoxiao, they all knew their own personalities. Whitebeard is the type of partner who is heroic, and usually carefree, making people feel at ease to ask the back to hand over. If it weren't for Whitebeard being one of the pirates' heads, there would be no black spots. Chatting on weekdays, Whitebeard is always carefree and somewhat optimistic. No matter how bad it is still light, and there has never been a situation where only punctuation has been issued. Now that he has changed his style from the past, the details have encountered a major event. Whitebeard, you can't describe it in words, you can see it for yourself. Ding, Whitebeard uploads a memory copy. A memory copy is the extraction of a piece of one's own memory. Earning Xiao can. Spoiler. That is, I have watched anime, movies, etc. in my previous life. Participants can naturally also draw on their own personal experience. Ding. Group member Tokasaki Kwangson downloads the memory copy. Whitebeard shocking day, close black lens bracket. Ding. Group member Luo Hao downloads the memory copy. Ding. Group member Dagu download. Open black lens bracket ding, group members. A series of beeps sounded. Tony Star, Whitebeard, you have a little talent for naming OMG. Zuan Xiaoxiao, I also want to complain, this can be compared with the Ministry of Shock, Mist Grass. Zhang Sanfeng, bro, Lao Dao pulled out his beard in surprise. Advertisement, Yingzheng, I know that the Dai Giant is very powerful, but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. Open black lens bracket Aizen Sosuke close black lens bracket. Terrible, how can there be so much difference between the 7th and 9th orders? Yihei, theoretically speaking, the sages in my world can destroy the stars, like the moon, but also have no life. Which Sage King is cow leather, the great sage can blow up the galaxy. The Quasi-Emperor and the Ancient Emperor, it is even more alarming to say that it is normal for a realm to have a gap of hundreds of times, but the Dai Giant is a bit outrageous. Luo Hao, if it weren't for the last but, I should spray you. Open black lens bracket Dokasaki Quanson close black lens bracket. Lifting the weight lightly, the last hand used by Rancune has only a little fluctuation of spiritual energy, and it seems to be the body. Tony Star. This is not scientific. Dagu, tell a joke, do you talk about science in the chat group? Open black lens bracket Longkui close black lens bracket. Powerful, too powerful, much more powerful than the Shishan elders who are only one step away from flying to heaven in my impression, this should not be the power of the 9th order. A group of people were shocked. Just because Whitebeard will die the whole process of fighting against Fujino Kome, as well as the scene of dying and destroying Marijoy in the end, it presents a rhyme to all. If it was just the previous process, I would marvel at the power of the Dai, but it would not be a gaffe, because it was expected. In fact, it was because their realm was not enough, and they knew how much damage space and time had shown. To put it bluntly, it is to sit and watch the sky. In the end, the method of dyeing the hook hand to destroy Marijoy is equivalent to developing the corners of their eyes. This is reflected in their understanding, but if all this is achieved by means, it is still reluctantly acceptable. The problem is that Dai seems to be doing all this by the body. What kind of power is this, Ran? This is not the power of the 9th order, but the 11th order, I just test it. Open black lens bracket Haihara I close black lens bracket. Level 11, Heavenly Immortal. Yihei, comparable to the power of the Ancient Emperor? That's fine. As we all know, in his world, kings can shatter the moon, invincible on the surface. Ordinary sages can shatter planets. Without life. Sage kings can destroy giant planets. Great sages can destroy stars to river systems. Quasi-emperors can destroy galaxies. Great emperors it can destroy half the universe, the single universe. The Great Emperor is the 11th rank in the chat group classification, which belongs to the combat power ranking. And Tianxian belongs to the realm on the list, and the combat power is slightly inferior to the Emperor, but he lives for a long time. Yingzheng. Indeed, the Ancient Emperor can destroy the universe, and it is the universe of your world. It is really powerful. Shi Xiaoxiao. In other words, the Dai Giant has the power of the Emperor around the 9th order? Ran. It's just a trick. It can be done by reducing the dimension and attacking the low-level world, but if you go to Yihei's world, the realm is probably a few turns before the Emperor, and the combat power is comparable to that of the Great Emperor. Advertisement Rand doesn't want to be blown too high. But he also kept a few points. If you mobilize the power of the origin of the world, add the gift from the monkey brother, and then enter the state of freedom, extreme intention, and power, and use Hogyoku to activate the time pupil technique. The Emperor also has to kneel. Unfortunately, it can only be used as a hole card, not the norm. Still not strong enough, Rand sighed slightly dissatisfied. Do your best to solve the Great Emperor, but this is nothing at all. Above the Great Emperor, there is a perfect supreme level, although it is a realm, but its combat power is stronger. Above the supreme, is the Heavenly Emperor level, that is, the supreme extremity, the Great Emperor extremity. Even the weakest real fairy can be cut down, Baron Emperor. Above the Heavenly Emperor is a true immortal, above the true immortal is the Hongchen Immortal, comparable to the peak of the true immortal, but less than the quasi-immortal king, except for the 10th. Above the Red Dust Immortal is the Immortal King, and then the quasi-immortal Emperor. In the end, it was always the Immortal Emperor who was comparable to Deluo Jingxin. But the Immortal Emperor came to Hongwang, that is, like Yangjiani Do Victory Buddha and other powerful Deluo Jingxin, and Hongwang pays attention to the root and feet, which is a magic weapon. In terms of body alone, taking the path of the ancestral witch is the strongest. All in all, it's still a long way off. Open black lens bracket long kui close black lens bracket. Brother Ran, I seem to have read dissatisfaction from your words. Dagu, good guy, this is a big brother and senior, and he will never be complacent. Tony Star, compared with a certain black-hearted person who always talks about the Great Emperor of the Ancients, after knowing his future, he is much stronger. Open black lens bracket Yihei close black lens bracket. I know you were talking about me. I have evidence. As the only ordinary person, I am sorry. Zuan Xiaoxiao, ordinary desolate holy body, Whitebeard, la, an ordinary queen backer? Zhang Sanfeng, I have always wanted to say that the quasi-immortal emperor can walk in the long river of time, and Yihei's peak strength must be above the immortal emperor. Does this mean that he can return to any node where he is at any time? Shizaki Kwong 3. Thinking about it, some people say that they want to be a rank, but in fact, they can become a boss of the 16th rank at any time? Open black lens bracket Luo Hao close black lens bracket. Terrible, open black lens bracket Yihei close black lens bracket. Enough is enough. Advertisement Yihei never thought that he would have such a day. However, the words of these people also caused them to fall into some kind of magic barrier. He raised his head blankly and asked in doubt, after a long time, that means that the future me can come back to the present at any time? But it should be reluctant to meet the danger, otherwise it will be allowed to develop. My future height is destined, but it doesn't mean that I can have the future height now? But that's not right, the immortal emperor dances for a long time and is not limited, and every node is equally invincible. 99. Hey, I don't understand, Yihei scratched his head. Maybe it's beyond the realm. Helplessly sighed, Yihei prepared, good enough, to prepare in advance. Kowloon is about to pull the coffin. The chat group is indeed a place with a special charm. Looking at the people who were talking about the topic again, Ran chuckled and shook his head, returning to his own small world with a single thought. He clearly understood the way to grow in the future, and he wanted to start devouring the world as soon as possible. The first goal was already there, but he wasn't going to do it himself. Have to find a suitable helper, or do other layouts. But before that, we have to go to the world of the sky first, and the transformation of Zikai and Zadi should be over. Some accounts need to be calculated, but after entering the small world, the corners of his eyes twitched. In front of the divine tree, a huge golden giant was waving a light whip. And between the light whips, there is a stream of light that is constantly flying, attacking the golden giant from time to time and repelling it. This is Kwai Karl and Mila fighting young, how could they fight? Ran was a little puzzled, but there was something that made him speechless. On the other side of the divine tree, Groudon was leaning on the branch and breathing for nothing, watching all this comfortably. Eat melons, mythical beasts, and the masses. Chapter 223 Tsunere's poisonous tongue. Give Carmelala a lesson, subscribe. Previous chapter next chapter advertisement. Thinking that the breath on you is dark, I will forgive your disrespect and surrender to me. Submissive. You? It's ridiculous, you must lie to Xiaolongkui and let her exile me here and die. I am the leader of the dark giants before the trilemma, don't I deserve to use you? What kind of dark giant leader? I haven't heard of it, but this demon sword followed Admiral Feipeng in the sky and fought against the demon realm Ji Zunlu. You are not as good as him. The supreme being of the demon world. Gorgeous, watch me forcibly contract you. Don't think about it, Carmilla fought with the magic sword controlled by Honkui and did not forget to bicker. And Ran heard the conversation between the two sides, and also figured out the ins and outs. It was roughly the same time that Carmella's demon sword woke up, and Honkui found herself lying in an unfamiliar environment and couldn't find any trace of Solanum, so she became anxious. Strictly speaking, Honkui is the second personality of Solanum Nigrum, and the rhyme of the general sub-personality is because the main personality wants to escape some things, and Shiji will be born in extreme need of protection. The red sunflower was born to protect the nightshade. And Carmella is a dark giant, and she has taken a fancy to the dark aura of the magic sword and wants to take it as her own and turn it into her own weapon. This situation is completely understandable. There are also many weapons in the Ultraman world, such as Noseback Wings, Believer's Wings, and Bay 310 Lia Dusk and so on. The magic sword was Feipeng's saber at the beginning, and the latter was the god of war in the heavens, and could fight back and forth with the magic respect building. Then, as a sword, the magic sword, even if it is not an acquired or innate spiritual treasure, is a superb immortal weapon. Such a spiritual treasure, even in the heyday of Carmella, did not have it, so naturally he wanted to take it for himself. However, after Feipeng's saber entered the mortal world, along with Solanum Nirvana's dedication, it became a magic sword, and it also possessed a sword spirit, and also possessed a sense of autonomy. Although the seal of these years has made the power of the magic sword retrograde, the essence is still there. Under the control of Honkui, he can also fight back and forth with Carmella. What's this called? Ran shook her head slightly speechless, and immediately stepped on the hook and came to Carmilla. Receive. Ran Yi recruited and took the half-giant magic sword into his hands. The black and purple aura on the magic sword surged, and the sword body vibrated, as if it was about to escape. Advertisement Ran glanced at it and said lightly, Honkui, be quiet. The magic sword trembled, followed by a phantom in a red dress, with vigilance and anger on his face. Who are you? How do you know me? It's too much trouble to explain. Ran Wei, ADBF, frowned, and stretched out her hooked fingers to point at the center of Honkui's eyebrows. Happiness. Looking at the information emerging, Honkui frowned slightly. At this time, Ran moved her fingers forward a little and said lightly, Carmilla, be nice. I saw a huge palm stop not far in front of the dyed body. The owner of the palm was Carmilla, and while Ran and Honkui were talking, they directly started. You are Sino. Carmilla, who was extremely sensitive to breath, shook her body and raised her other hand directly. It's no wonder. 39 Ran shook his head helplessly, raised his hand and pressed down. Boom. The golden rays of light converged on the top of Carmella's head and turned into a huge palm. Carmella's body froze, unable to move no matter how much she struggled. When the golden palm fell, there was no earth-shattering power. If it was idle, it would be transformed into light rays and melted into Carl's body for transformation. Light is assimilating my darkness. Damn it, nasty power, get me out of here. Mixed. How dare you do such a thing to me? Carmilla shouted angrily. But Ran ignored her. But when the light was integrated to a certain extent, her body suddenly collapsed and dissipated, turning into a human form and falling not far away. Transform. Transform. Carmilla tried to control the necklace on her chest to transform. But as soon as he came into contact with the power of darkness, the power of light surged in his body. This force does not hinder her, but integrates. Advertisement. As long as she lets go of the restrictions and is willing to accept it, she can successfully transform. But, how could she, Carmilla, cast a false light like that traitor Triga? I'm going to be transformed by my own power. Carmilla kept going against the light, thinking about transforming only with darkness. But the more so, the greater the restrictions felt. This is a different kind of seal. Do you know how to behave now? Ran didn't know when, in front of Carmilla, she pinched her smiling face, and her eyes were full of jokes. Damn, it's light, so hypocritical, I will never give in. Carmilla's human form looked at Ran with a humiliated expression. Even if he was betrayed by Terraga before the trilemma 10,000 years, it would only be a sealed body. How can it be like this now? It is actually played, by the warrior of light at will. This is her humiliation as a dark giant, light? Ran raised his brows. He was not bad, but he was definitely not a good person. Pure light relates to him. Perhaps the light of darkness like Tiga is more appetizing. Are you sure I'm the light? 99 Ran stared at Carmilla's eyes, and the pupils began to turn, and finally turned into the pattern of the eternal Mangekyo, in which a magnificent light bloomed. An extreme darkness emerges. Before evolving to the reincarnation eye that controls the power of yin and yang, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan can be described as the ultimate in yin escape and the ultimate in the power of darkness. It's not without reason that Uchiha was covered by Tobirama and became an evil family. This feeling. Carmilla looked at the dyed eyes, and her mind was directly immersed in it. That beautiful darkness, purer and brighter than anything she had ever seen before. That's right, it's bright and dazzling darkness. The dying power is too strong, and the eternal Mangekyo pupil power is naturally strong. Advertisement. How can it be? Carmilla felt that her brain was not enough. Dark. How can it be so bright? How can you have such a powerful darkness? Why can't there be? Are you Sino, 33? Yes. The energy display on your chest is so bright, you tell me you're dark? Why not? Can you say something like that? Well, you don't know, it means that you are too weak. Triga can transform from darkness to light. Then light can also be transformed into darkness, so there is a problem with those who have two powers of master. Carmilla was speechless. It can't be done for her. But she definitely does not approve of the light. You master the mighty darkness, yet you still devote yourself to the light? Carmilla looked contemptuous. It doesn't matter which is stronger, light or dark. Ran smiled and asked. The darkness is stronger and the light is weaker, 99. At the same time, master, more powerful, isn't it? 1. That's the mentality of the weak and the weak, Carmilla said sarcastically. Weak mentality. An example of dyeing the corners of the mouth? Forget it, before I reason with you, it's better to conquer you first. Eyes condensed. The two turned into rays of light and fused together. Carmilla's eyes became terrified. What are you going to do? Chapter 224 The light blooming in Carmilla's body. The world of the sky is changing? Subscription? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In the small world of dying. In a small space opened up in the tree above the gods. Light and darkness are constantly intertwined. To be precise, light is constantly deepening into darkness. In the Ultraman world, the battle between light and darkness is an eternal topic. There is Tiga in front and Triga in the back. Siro and Beilaohe are added in the middle, and Noah and Zaki are the big brothers on the head. But Dai felt that these guys were too one-sided or too extreme. There is no right or wrong in power, there is no right and wrong. Only those with master power are sown. As long as you can become stronger, you can control your own destiny and protect others, master can have any power. It can only be said that those guys who are engaged in animation and ad hoc do not understand reality, they only know that opposition can be advanced, plot. Vulgar, and now, he has done his best to give this truth to Carmilla to know. Let her understand that it doesn't matter what light and darkness are, as long as it doesn't affect her becoming stronger, everything is fine. When light blooms in the depths of darkness. The dark light trembled, accepting this wave of gifts. Light and darkness seemed to blend together at this moment. I do not know the past, continue to separate. The light turned into the image of Ran, and the darkness turned into the appearance of Sumayer Uesaka, the human body of Carmilla. A stalker fell into Ran's arms, and there was deep confusion, humiliation, a trace of obedience and sympathy in his eyes. I thought this would make me submit, Uesaka Sumayer said while pressing his silver teeth. Looking at her black and white eyes, Ran smiled and said, so without the use of light, do you want me to teach you some truth now? Saying that, Ran clasped Sumayer Uesaka's wrist. The latter's body trembled, his legs were inexplicably weak, and he said stubbornly, I am the leader of the dark giants, I am the leader of the darkness, no one can make me surrender, absolutely. But I just made you around, right? You are persecuting. Yes, it's persecution, isn't this the dark giant's forte? 99. You are the giant of light. Then you are a double standard, I can use the power of light, but I can also use the power of darkness, I don't belong to which team, But I am a team, but the light obeys me, the light is justice, in turn, darkness is justice, understand? Ran put her face in front of Sumair Uesaka, and the tip of her nose almost touched. Sumair Uesaka held his breath. Such domineering was once only possessed by her to the police, but she had never been used by anyone. Even Triga is asking for a relationship. Who made Terga the strongest among the male giants? But now this strange feeling. HMPH, I will never approve or obey. Advertisement, I'm just giving in to you temporarily. You'd better deal with me now, or when I'm stronger than you, I'll have to kneel down and lick me. 93. Sumair Uesaka, who was speaking ruthlessly, widened his eyes, feeling the light make the dark room breathe. Until Ran left, she nodded her red lips. Can darkness be used as lipstick? If you want to win me, then accept the light well, and let's talk about the darkness and the light at the same time. 99. Uesaka Sumair still wanted to stubborn, but feeling the powerlessness in her body, she chose to stabilize. Ran clearly wants her to accept the light, but the theory is not because the light is stronger, but decides that the two are equally powerful, and the master is stronger. And dying is not just talking about it, it is just like that. Plus Ran can easily defeat him now. HMPH, I'm just willing to admit defeat. I am a dark giant and can afford to lose. The strong have everything, and the weak should be enslaved. Sumair Uesaka frantically used his own theories to persuade himself to submit. But she understands that all this is just self-deception. Because the conquest brought by darkness brings exploitation. Ran conquered her, but it brought her benefits. HMPH, not a layman who succumbed to my charm. For some unknown reason, Sumair Uesaka had a bright smile on his face. Sooner or later, you will be willing to drink my bathwater. 99 randomly thought about it. Sumair Uesaka is going to the north of the small world. Jiran said that there is a hot spring there, just to relieve fatigue. She is not a weak human being, even if it is the first time. And this talisman's own ejaculation to men. If it is not conquered, it is impossible for oneself to take the initiative to obey. After just taking a step, Uesaka Sumair Shiraduan's face showed the color of rhythm pupils. It feels so uncomfortable. Damn it man, just wants me to run out. 93. Use it, and I have to step on you when the time comes. Tie you up. I want you to sing to me. Advertisement. I want you to be called Her Majesty the Queen. I am the king. While accepting the transformation of light, Sumair Uesaka felt the strengthening of her body, but she did not forget to speak harshly. She didn't know that these words of hers fell into her ears. Good idea. When the time comes, I will try everything for you. 99. I like how you like to fight with me. With a smile on his lips, he seems to have thought of a beautiful picture. But as a man who attaches more importance to his career, he is actually considering a trip to Tiga World. According to Carmela, the reason why she was hooked into this universe was that she felt some kind of dark call. In order to become stronger, she followed a certain force to travel through space. And the reason why Tiga was wrong was only because she felt the darkness wrapped in light for the first time when she woke up, and she had only felt this kind of power in Triga. Who knew it was a parallel world? Then the eternal core is obviously gone. Call of Darkness, Ruluya Ruins? Gatenji? 99? Camilla? Or is it the Sphionot? I always feel that they are all close, and Demogeny is almost the same, and there should be no such thing in the current Tiga world. The Dark Demon Super Beast Demoji has a taste of the Super Beast encountered during Ace's protection of the Earth. It is the same existence as Carmilla. After conquering the darkness and absorbing the residual resentment of Gatonga, the super ancient city is exposed. A terrifying monster born from the dark energy in the ruins. 0. Ask for flowers. The warrior of love and hate, Camilla, was born with two feelings of love and hatred for Ultraman Tiga, a dark demon super beast with infinite dark energy. The fighting power is very powerful. 0. But this way of birth also confirms that Demoji does not exist yet. Because Gatenji hasn't woken up yet and hasn't died yet. The three darkness have not woken up yet. As for the Sphere Collective question, neither. In fact, Ran is more inclined to the situation where the rhyme of the world of Tiga has appeared as a traveler, but the chat group did not issue a task, indicating that this may not be the case. Or, it's just that it hasn't directly affected the Tiga world, regardless of all chat groups? Shaking a lot of questions made Ran want to go around Tiga world. But he has too many things to do, and this matter has to wait. Hong Kui, do you understand everything? Ran came before the magic sword. The phantom of Nightshade, wearing a red dress reappeared again, with gratitude and worry in her coquettish red eyes. Is it really okay for Nightshade to be there alone? Advertisement. Point 0, didn't I also tell you about the chat group? Not to mention that she can escape, it is really uncertain that she can travel through the world, or ask us for help, and if it doesn't work, the chat group will release tasks. 39. Hong Kui nodded in understanding. It's just that she was born to protect the Nightshade, and suddenly separated, she couldn't help but care. So, can I really be an individual? Didn't I tell you about Jinbang as well? Just wait a month. You have been sealed in the locked demon tower for so many years, what is a month? 93. Yes, if I can separate from Selenum Nigrum, and I become a sword spirit, she may be able to regain her new life. Waiting for a year is nothing at all. Hong Kui's eyes became firm. The next moment, the magic sword flew into the hand of the die, and there were lines on it. Soul contract. Ran realized what had happened, and said with a little surprise, I will not wait for the transformation to recognize the Lord. If I don't recognize the Lord, what if Jinbang does not recognize it? Hongkui's voice sounded in Ran's mind. Okay. Dai nodded. Since the little 10 tails are not considered summoning beasts of the Otsutsuki style, this is indeed possible when the weapon has consciousness. But as Feipeng's saber, didn't he leave anything behind? It was Yuliu, but after being banished to the mortal world by Fuxi, it was erased. Otherwise, how could Solanum Nigrum join in? Is it? Dai eyes condensed. In the ending of Immortal Sword 3, Solanum Nigrum is the second sacrifice. It seems that the emperor of this world, Fuxi, is really not a good person. Then it may be much easier to plunder then. Ran smiled, and with a thought, he came to the world gate of different fire continent. Stepping out one step, he came to the different fire continent again. Okay. Ran's eyes narrowed, and he turned to look not far away. I saw not far away, there was a terrifying thunder robbery rhyme, and under this, was a purple giant python. How can it be? Dai's pupils shrank. Logically speaking, Zikai would not be able to survive the thunder tribulation. Afterwards, he sensed something, and suddenly let go of the mind. Chapter 225 Medusa smiled, and Xiao Huohuo is a template child of luck? Previous chapter next chapter advertisement, this is, the spatial fluctuation of Otherworld. Because he traveled to the pirate world not long ago, and fought with a subordinate god of Otherworld, and his own small world also merged with a fragment of the godhead of the space system, Ran is extremely sensitive to space fluctuations. He clearly noticed that there were hidden fluctuations tens of meters north of where Zikai and Dai were located, and they had the smell of Otherworld. Hidden. Ran immediately controlled the event portal leading to the ninja world to hide, and then the body was hidden in the small world, and the spiritual sense went to places with abnormal spatial fluctuations in a familiar way. After a few breaths, he walked through a bamboo forest and came to a river. He saw a figure hidden behind a boulder. It was a handsome man with handsome features. He stood on his hands, the breeze was blowing, his long hair fluttered, and he seemed extremely free and easy. Faintly, there is an air of arrogance that is superior to others. But at this time, he had a frenzy on his face, destroying the lightness of the cloud. Ran silently came to him, hiding in the air and looking at it, and found that he didn't notice it at all, just staring at Zikai in the sky who was robbing. His eyes were full of anticipation and excitement. Ran looked at it at close range for a while, and found that the fluctuations on the opponent's body were very strange. 3-0. How to say? The strength is not too strong, it is probably the breath of the 5th rank, the physique will be strong, and the soul body is weak. But under this 5th order aura, there is also a 7th order realm, but it is estimated that the souls that can hook around 6th order souls seem to be existences such as primordial spirits. With Grandpa? It is the same group as Xiao Huohuo and Yao Lao. Interesting. Ran looked at this person, and always felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if he had seen it before. But now that he has received a gift in return, it can be confirmed that he has never seen such a person in reality. Most likely it is a character known from a previous life in a novel. Who is it? Between doubts, Ran did not rush to do anything to this young man. The existence of the suspected child of luck, no matter how cautious you are, can't be too cautious. After all, this kind of person often carries destiny, and there are countless trump cards, and they are not so easy to kill. Moreover, he has observed the transformation of the purple color in the sky with his spiritual sense, and it is not a bad thing, but a good thing. That is not the cultivation level promotion or the transformation thunder tribulation, but the bloodline evolution thunder tribulation. As long as you hold on to it, Zikai's bloodline will transform, similar to the rise of the roots of the prehistoric world. Before Zikai's life was in danger, he would not make a move. According to his investigation, Zikai, whose strength has fully reached Dozong's, can definitely survive the thunder calamity, but the state after the event may not be very good. But that's just something that a fairy bean can do. So don't rush to intervene, just to see what this strange man is doing. Advertisement, boom, boom, boom. As the thunder continued to fall, each time it became stronger and stronger, the sky on one side felt like it could crack at any time. The powerhouses of the snake people have already surrounded this mess, and everyone has a look of hope and fanaticism on their faces. They didn't know the specific situation, they just thought that their queen was breaking through Duzong. Once it succeeds, it means that the queen can take their snake people out of the desert. After all, the Jiama Empire and Yunlin sect in the east now have the highest combat power only Do Huang. Ouch. After the 8 purple lightning bolts, the dark clouds in the sky were extremely dense, and countless arcs flickered on them, obviously accumulating power and preparing to chop down the last one. 9-day robbery? Like the die that swept the sky, there are numbers. Zikai is a 7-colored swallowing python. After evolution, it is a 9-colored swallowing python, and then there is the possibility of turning into a dragon. The weakest 19 heavenly tribulation is normal. What? In the sky, the purple body that turned into a purple python flashed back to its human form. He was wearing a fiery red cheongsam, which perfectly covered the area below his neck and ankles. He also wore a pair of fiery red leather shoes on his feet, which complemented the cheongsam. But so, it brought out the hotness of her figure. And only the white-collar workers and jade feet exposed in the air are full of strange charm and attract people's attention. Seeing this scene, all the snake people were stunned. Self-portrait, her lady queen, has actually turned into a human form, and even put on human clothes and shoes. What's happening here? Isn't it now Du's breakthrough tribulation or transformation? But apparently, no one has an answer for them right now. That guy, he hasn't come back at such a time. 33. Kai looked at the dark clouds in the sky, her expression a little ugly, or rather smelly. It's not that he is afraid that he won't be able to survive the thunder tribulation, but it is a trivial matter without the power of Dozong. She was just angry that the guy who said he wanted her man didn't show up at such a critical time. Is this a petty mood? I've been running into Tsunere monsters lately. Keenly caught the expression on Kai's face, Ran immediately guessed what she was thinking, and shook her head with a smile, but she still contacted Wood Clone, who was secretly responsible for protecting the Katie sisters hidden in the bamboo forest. What? Wood Clone gradually decomposes and turns into a green fluorescent light that shoots violet. Advertisement. What is that? 19 The expressions of the snake people guarding the banks of the river outside the outer islands of the Holy Land Island change, thinking that something had happened. Among them, the elders of the snake people who had reached the Do-1 level police force were the first to do battle with their wings. And the expression of the purple butterfly hidden somewhere on the island within the island also changed. But the next moment, when the green light entered Kai's body, a strong light burst out, wrapping his body, and the chaotic aura on his body began to balance at an extremely fast speed, and the slightly unstable Dozong aura also began to stabilize. When the light disappeared, a healthy flush appeared on Kai's face. The wounds in the body and the consumption of vindictive energy have recovered. Kai noticed her situation and was stunned for a moment. But she quickly reacted and was pleasantly surprised. Hey, that stinky guy is here. A smile bloomed on Kai's beautiful and bewitching face. This smile made the world pale and made the hearts of all nearby men tremble. At the same time, everyone realized that it was not an accident just around, it should be the backhand of Kai arrangement. As expected of Her Majesty the Queen, she has already prepared her back. Her Royal Highness has even prepared clothes and shoes that fit a human body. Naturally, she will be prepared again. Your Majesty, YYDS. Her Majesty the Queen has returned to its peak state, and this wave of transformation has stabilized. The bright future of my snake people is coming. 66 The people who breed snakes are very excited, and there is a lot of discussion. The eyes of those elders also turned red. Dozong. Their snake people finally had another Dozong, as that brother-in-law. Dai took a pat on the career line that was slightly inferior to Kai and was relieved. At that time, although she was still breaking through, she felt it very clearly, and she was thinking of making fun of it. Xiao Huohuo is not. As a result, Kai waited for her for more than an hour, and when she succeeded, a strange light flew into Kai's body from outside the bamboo forest, and then the aura on her body began to change, and thunder tribulation also appeared. But when Ran heard this, she probably understood something. Thoughts flashed. Ran mourned for 3 seconds of silence for this number 2 transmigrator. Advertisement. She was not afraid at the time, because before leaving, Ran said that she had arranged something around her, saying that she could feel the accident at the first time, but she was worried. What do you mean? The young man known as Lang Tien narrowed his expression, but his expression was still very bad. At this time, Ranjan, who was inexplicably worshipped, watched the youth furiously with interest. This person should be a traveler, and he knows the original plot of the Sky World. This is specifically to pick up leaks and prepare to kidnap Medusa. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Wait, that's not right. Unfortunately, there is a big difference between this world and the world of novels. This 1.5 should be the backhand of this female snake person for a breakthrough, but it is useless when there is no thunder tribulation rhyme during the breakthrough. As a result, you consume Fumang to stimulate its bloodline evolution to attract thunder tribulation, and it is just use. 99 was the Yuanshan called Mu, she said. Duodu knows a hammer in the sky. That's right, the young man in front of him was angry when he saw Kai returning to his peak state. It turned out to be a pirated copy by Xiao Huohuo. At this time, a primordial spirit suddenly appeared beside the young man, and said a little helplessly, Lang Tian, your precious bloodline evolution talisman, I am afraid that you made a wedding dress for this snake woman. Carpenter. Master Mu, do you know what's going on here? It's actually like this. Lang Tian couldn't help frowning and muttered. It shouldn't be, it's too strange. When Queen Medusa broke through Dozong, it was obviously the weakest time. Kai put on the clothes and shoes brought by her brother-in-law, and complained, but she smiled brightly. This is clearly an accident. The youth suppressed his anger and asked in a voice. Due to her original sacrifice, her origin was somewhat lacking, so her breakthrough was not as smooth as Kai's breakthrough Dozong, and she fell into a deep sleep when the latter succeeded. No wonder he has a familiar sense of sight. Now it seems that worry is unnecessary. What's more, here I am. Dai frowned slightly. It's a no-brainer, brother-in-law is really amazing. Almost forgot, this guy is not from this world. Zidi's small heart is full of admiration for Dying. Dying eyes change. Kai broke through Dozong, and she was also breaking through Do Huang. It seems that the transformation of the bloodline is also within my brother-in-law's calculations. Is it a surprise for my sister? Lang Tien didn't say anything after that, obviously thinking about it in his heart. Chapter 226 The Big Villain of Martial Arts, Crossing the World of Different Fires and Becoming Stronger. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Almost forgot, this guy is from Otherworld. Dai's heart moved, and he almost leaped the air machine. This young man named Langtian has spatial fluctuations that do not belong to this world, which means that he is from the other world, not the aborigines of the sky world. Could it be a protagonist like double-crossing the door? Or is it a replica system? Reincarnation can be excluded. Interesting. 19 Ran's heart was overjoyed, and she was more careful to hide herself. If you can focus on the double-piercing door or the protagonist with a complicated tradition, it is a huge wealth, and it is only strong or weak compared to the fragment of the godhead of the space. That is a man of destiny who is even more excessive than the child of luck. At this time, the young man Langtian had calmed down and regained his energy, turned around and asked the primordial spirit next to him. Master Mew, from what you see, when the last thunderstorm falls, what will happen to the Snake Queen's injury? It seems that you are still unwilling to give up. Yuanshan Mew Shi sighed, and then said with a serious face. Although the 19th thunder tribulation is the weakest thunder calamity, the power of the last thunder is equivalent to the total power of the first 8 thunders. Point 3. Although this female snake person has recovered, I don't think it has too strong defensive means and tools. After it has survived, its strength will not exceed 30% of its heyday. Ran on the side heard it and nodded silently. In fact, Master Mew still said that he was conservative. O3 Z Kai is a female snake person, and the snake monsters are targeted more than other monsters in the face of thunder tribulation. All Z Kai can exert 20% of their strength by then. 3 floors. The young man pondered for a while, and quickly analyzed. The Snake Queen should have just broken through Dozong, and her realm is still unstable. If you can only use 30% of your sales strength, it may not be stronger than the peak of Dowang. According to my speculation, the Do Emperor in this world is equivalent to the reincarnation realm powerhouses in our world. The Do Sheng and Do Zun are equivalent to the Wheel Mirror, the life and death profound realm. Do Zong and the ordinary Do Zun are the same as Nirvana. Realm powerhouses are the same, while Duong and Dowang are equivalent to the 3 realms of creation. Master Mew, if my body is controlled by you, it is possible to exert the power of Yun Nirvana realm. The young man looked at the primordial divine body like a torch. Langtian, you must get this female snake person? Mew Shi's expression was solemn, but he did not say that he couldn't. Master Mew, I am confident that he will be completely loyal to me, Langtian said solemnly. Oh, Mew Shi showed a surprised expression. He also thought that the youth was greedy for beauty. After all, the beauty of the Snake Queen after her transformation, even when he had a body, he never had it, so he would definitely be tempted. Advertisement I didn't expect to be in control. It is also a good background to make a half-demon who is comparable to a Nirvana realm allegiance. Moreover, once that monster has passed the bloodline advanced robbery, its future potential is at least at the level of a wheel mirror. If you are lucky enough to survive the calamity of reincarnation and become a reincarnation realm powerhouse with a long lifespan and continuous reincarnation, he must be extremely powerful. After thinking about this, Master Mew pondered. If my power is completely borrowed from you, you can have a strength comparable to that of a Nirvana 1-turn powerhouse for at most a quarter of an hour. The stronger it is, the shorter the time will be. Just like this, I will definitely fall into a deep sleep, and you need to find the 6th order fetish to wake me up again. Master Mew handed over the choice to Langtian. Master Mew, are you just sleeping? Langtian confirmed. I have the Yuan mystery method, which won't hurt the root. Master Mew smiled complacently. Hearing this, Langtian made a decision and smiled and said, Master Mew, rest assured, an ancient tomb is about to be unearthed in the Tianyan Mountains within the Dian dynasty, which contains the Nirvana heart and some treasures useful to the soul. It can wake you up and allow you to recover faster and even prepare you for remodeling. 9. Oh, a look of joy flashed in Mew Shi's eyes, and he said slightly with the old way. This is also the corner of the future that you rely on your talent to see? Exactly. Langtian nodded lightly and added, just like I can bring Master Mew to this otherworld. Okay, then we'll give it a try. Master Mew took the initiative to respond to this matter. Langtian nodded, and then turned his attention to Z Kai in the sky, his eyes fiery. On the other hand, Ran, who had listened to the conversation between the two, was stunned. At this time, if he didn't know the identity of this young man in the world he came from, he wouldn't be worthy of being a transmigrator, and he wouldn't be worthy of his current status. This young man's full name should be Lin Langtian, from Xuanchen continent. The cultivation system of the Xuanchen continent is different from that of the Sky continent. To sum it up in one sentence, it is to quench the body, borrow yin and yang, primitive core, seize fortune, 3 realms, turn to nirvana, 9 realms, grasp life and death, and control reincarnation. But the relationship between Xuanchen continent and Kangchong continent is very close. Because, they are all subordinate to the rough world that dominates the world of Dian. Lin Langtian said that the reincarnation realm was at the same level as Dodi. This was not a blow. Because the plate of reincarnation is the symbol of reincarnation, after the warriors of Xuanchen continent enter the reincarnation realm, their dantian will be transformed into the sea of reincarnation, the sea of samsara, reaching the peak between heaven and earth, and has control of life and death. To a certain extent, time is difficult to obliterate them, because some super powerhouses in the reincarnation realm can use supernatural powers to save a little spirituality after the failure of the fairy to return to the calamity, and then reincarnate in reincarnation and retake the road of becoming stronger. When the opportunity comes, activate the spirituality and nirvana again between heaven and earth. And if you survive the triple reincarnation calamity, you will be able to fall asleep infinitely, or take the initiative to reincarnate without extinction. As for the Do Emperor in the world of the sky, the aftermath of the battle can directly shock the 9-star Do Shengpi powerhouse, can prohibit the Do Sheng powerhouse from mobilizing the energy of heaven and earth, can change the ability of his own bloodline, can absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into the body, form huge body of Do Di, similar to Supreme Dharma. The Supreme Dharma and the Supreme Sea, the two symbols of the Supreme Sealing Wreath in the rough world. Advertisement: if it weren't for the lack of origin chi in the world of the sky, many Do Di could be born, just like the reincarnation mirror powerhouses in Xuanchen continent, and the ancestral realm of Xuanchen continent needs the sacrifice of those who dominate the world to improve it exceptionally. In short, Kangchong continent is like the elder brother of Xuanchen continent, but the age difference is much, one is already very old, and the other is just a newborn. Xiao Huohuo is a helper found by Kangchong continent in order to return to the peak, a transmigrator who asks the law, and the son of luck. And Lin Langtian was the biggest enemy of the son of fortune in Xuanchen continent in the early stage, and even turned into a demon hook in the end. But there is something wrong with this Lin Langtian. If he only knew about Xuanchen continent, he might be a rebirth, but obviously he also knows the plot of Sky continent, so he should be a transmigrator. A transmigrator has taken Lin Langtian's house. Just die it and you'll understand it all. Interesting. So, what's the cheat of this thing? Ran smiled, and then thought again. Judging from Lin Langtian so solemnly seeking help from the primordial spirit in his body to deal with Zikai, and exposing his own prophet, knowing the plot, and ability to travel through the world, his means should not be many, and he should not be clumsy. The combat power of this product is estimated to be low, and there is no experience card or the like. However, there are many means of life-saving for the traversers, so it is better to be cautious. Let Zikai talk about his background first, and I have to block the space. Dai quickly made a series of plans. Next, just wait for the traverser who is suspected of taking the bait to take the bait. As for whether to help fellow villagers or not, if there is a thunder calamity during the breakthrough, the gift can make the breakthrough person quickly stabilize the realm, and even go further. Tsunere subconsciously, Zikai put her consciousness into the mark. No, that's what he should do. Blood evolution is a conspiracy of others. Zikai was about to take a closer look when she felt a heat in front of her neck. Boom. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The blue lightning with a diameter of more than tens of feet looks very scary. Advertisement: the next moment, a string of information emerge. Give me a fairy bean and swallow it to instantly restore the vindictiveness and mental exhaustion of the injury and loss. If there is a thunder calamity during the transformation, the gift will enable the transformation person to have the most suitable body, and condense the energy armor. Since he was thinking about Zikai and had already counted it, it was impossible. After a burst of thunder, at this time, Medusa is the third situation. There have to be bad men, otherwise, it's just about time, the bad guys are already around. After digesting the information, killing intent suddenly appeared in Zikai's beautiful pupils. Okay. In the sky, the beautiful figure stepped on the void, feeling the strengthening of physique, the increase of strength, and the transformation of talent. If the bloodline is raised in the event of a thunder calamity, the bloodline will be completely evolved. The clouds in the sky began to disperse, and then a beam of golden energy fell. Prepare to count me. Divine consciousness swept over the extra fairy beings in the imprinted space, and Zikai quickly came up with an idea. Zikai was ready to fight, constantly using the power of space to weaken, and 313 at the same time used the top-level fighting skills of knowing Dai. Sister, come and help my sister. Between the sky and the earth from violent to extremely quiet. Although the realm has not changed in the slightest, the combat power has increased several times, and the future is even broader. Boom. It's the imprint. At this time, the last thunder finally fell after nearly a quarter of an hour. As for the man in the dark, it's no wonder that the bloodline was raised inexplicably. It turned out that someone was plotting against me. This is the gift of heaven and earth to those who pass the test. What is this bad guy doing? Chapter 227. A good show is an actor. Subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement: the Snake Queen Zikai was swaying in midair, looking like she was severely injured in the face of Legia, and waved to Zidai below. Elder sister, Zidai didn't know the real situation of Zikai, so she hurriedly flew to Zikai's side and reached out to hug her. Seeing this scene, all the snake people around were stunned. There is another Her Majesty the Queen, what is going on? Brother, am I dazzled? Brother, you're fine, I saw it too. 99. There are actually two Her Majesties? I didn't hear that Her Majesty the Queen of Breakthrough Duzong called another Her Majesty's sister? It's a sister. It turns out that the queens of our family have always been two. Why did the clan hide it? Idiot, don't even think about the situation of our family in the Northwest region, this is obviously a trump card. It turns out that the elders and Her Majesty the Queen really have foresight. Nonsense, or why are they elders? I wonder, is this not because of strength? Wisdom is also important. Members of the group of snake people, you reasoned out the truth with every word you said. Some high-level snake people next to them suddenly felt panic on their faces. God is so wise. God's trump card. How could they have such an idea? The Queen's line has been passed down from generation to generation, and only this generation is twins. From the first time this happened, they were ready to sacrifice one to fulfill the other, so they concealed it, so only the elder snake and the police chief knew about the twins of Her Majesty the Queen. Otherwise, it would also be detrimental to the people's hearts. But now it's completely exposed. Elder, what should we do? What do you mean? Of course, Her Majesty has two things. Nonsense, everyone actually saw it with their own eyes, so let's announce it. Now one of the queens has broken through Do Zong, and the other has also broken through Do Huang. The strength of my snake people has soared, and I no longer need to carefully hide their cards. Point 9. Asking Elder. Great Elder, I didn't expect you to be such a great elder. He has really become a wise and divine martial artist in the clan's population. Advertisement. Is this a lot of age growing on the skin? As if guessing what the other party was thinking, the first elder suddenly said with a serious face, no matter what the facts are, why is my clan not? Everything can only be the same as what the clan people guessed. 2. Now that Her Majesty the Queen has broken through Do Zong, and the other has also broken through Do Emperor, the opportunity for the re-emergence of our snake people has come, and it cannot be because of internal problems. 93. As for the two queens, the old man will naturally take it upon himself, even if he sacrifices his life for it. The great elder said it very solemnly. Everyone was infected by her look of death. This great elder may be a little cruel, but he has always been thinking about the snake people, and he is selfless. Maybe she is too strict and even corrupt, she is absolutely worthy of respect. When the queen didn't kill her, maybe she thought about it all. As for now, everyone was silent. They can't help what they say, because saying it would be forced. They can't do that. What's more, they didn't dare to face the current queen. I can only pray that the two queens will not be held accountable. Elder sister, at this time, Zidai hugged Zikai and asked with a concerned expression, are you alright? I'm fine, it's all pretending now. 99. A voice sounded in Zikai's mind, making her stunned for a moment. Not a rhyme of unexpected sounds. As twins, isn't it reasonable to have telepathy? She and her sister can communicate with their minds when the distance is not more than 10 meters. To her surprise, her sister pretended to be injured. What is this for? That bad man has come and said that someone wanted me to do something wrong. My current performance is just pretending. You deserve to ask. Without waiting for Zidi to ask, Zikai gave an explanation. Bad man. Brother-in-law? Sister-in-law is here? As expected. Someone is going to cheat on my sister? No wonder the elder sister who had a breakthrough in strength suddenly suffered a thunder calamity. Are you going to lure snakes and cut holes now? As soon as she understood Lu Zikai's meaning, Zidai immediately showed a panicked expression and said, Sister, elder sister, you are too injured. Please change back to your original shape first, and I will send you to the Holy Land to rest. Alright. Exchanged a look with Zidai, Zikai turned into a purple python in a flash, and obediently lay down in the former's arms. Advertisement. Zidi controls the fighting spirit wings and prepares to leave. Seeing this, Lin Langtian immediately shouted, Master. Hurry up. With a low voice from Master Mu, the primordial spirit turned into a golden light and merged into Lin Langtian's body. Is this what space feels like? With the skyrocketing cultivation base, Lin Langtian clearly felt the power of space. At this moment, he was as happy as a fish in the water. The great heavenly phoenix seal. Lin Langtian's body shot up, and in a blink of an eye, he came to Zidi, blocking her way. Boom. Lin Langtian's hands were constantly changing the handprints, mobilizing the energy in his body in a special way. A silver phoenix shadow hundreds of meters in size suddenly appeared above the head. If it is still in the quasi-creative realm, this is the time to be diligent. However, with the temporary elevation of the realm to nirvana, the phoenix shadow can also instill vitality, reaching the point where it is realized by hollow. The mere low-grade good luck martial arts can also play hook flowers. Okay. Lin Langtian's cultivation base was high, and his action at this time was too sudden. When Zidi reacted, Wang Ying turned into a fire phoenix, flapping its wings to sell off. Colorful butterfly light. Zidi reacted passively, and the vindictive energy in her whole body gathered crazily, turning it into a colorful barrier. Boom. Crack. The energy barrier of several hundred meters in front of the phoenix bird of several hundred meters is the detection between the attack and the goose egg. If it does not persist for a long time, the barrier will be shattered. The phoenix bird hit the purple butterfly, swallowed it, then fell forward, and finally fell into the river around the island outside the island. Boom. With a loud bang, countless drinking water mixed with venom was evaporated, and a pothole appeared hundreds of meters high, leaving behind a strong air, causing the river to stop flowing. In the most central position of the pothole, Zidai was lying motionless with the purple python in her arms, as if she was seriously injured and fell into a coma, unable to move any longer. Lin Langtian's figure descended from the sky and fell into the pothole, grabbing the purple butterfly and the purple python with excitement. Until this time, the surrounding snake people recovered from a series of changes. There is a strong enemy attack, immediately rescue the queen. Do Chi turned into wings, and the great elder took the lead. Chi arranges a large array of spiritual snakes, encircle the island. You bastard, you dare to break into the hinterland of my snake people, and immediately start the defense formation, forbid the sky. 99. All the powerhouses above the fighting spirit level are ready to make sacrifices, and the queen will be awakened in a limited manner as a last resort. Phi 99 advertisement one after another, orders full of anger were inquired from the top of the snake people. Duong level powerhouses rushed to the location of the incident. The Doling level powerhouses also burst into each other, and used the unique movement skills of the snake people to hurry on their way. The two queens are the future of their serpent people. No one knows when to miss this time, when the snake people will be able to walk out of the desert. Or, the decline is more complete, and even the harsh living environment of the desert is not worth the existence. Now is the time to fight for the race, humph. Lin Langtian's consciousness was very powerful at this time, and he easily took the surrounding situation into his mind, and he couldn't help but let Yun Qingxi smile. How could he not consider that this place is covered with snake people, and there are already those strong snake people around? If he himself is in the nirvana state, then of course there is no need at all. But he only temporarily reached nirvana. And this snake-human race was once a big clan, at least hooked on the powerhouses of the Dozun level, comparable to the great powers of Xuanchen Continent's complete death profound realm. Who knows, too good, whether the Tao will leave any means of protecting the family. Medusa's peak strength can protect the snake people for so long, it must not rely on their own strength. What a special array. Some sacrifices, all can be considered. And how could he ignore it? I didn't plan to spend it with you. As long as the double happiness doesn't resist, even if it's just for a while, I can take them to my world, won't I just let it go? My Lin clan, but there are genuine Nirvana realm powerhouses. The special police officer is Medusa, who has recovered into a python body, and I only need to subdue her when her soul is suppressed. At that time, the snake people will be my private land. With uncontrollable excitement, Lin Langtian grabs a D and Zikai with both hands. But just as he was about to touch it, boom, a purple giant tail drilled hook from the ground without warning and hit Lin Langtian's abdomen. Puff! Lin Langtian spit out a mouthful of blood, and his pupils instinctively shrank. I saw a flash of purple light in front of me, and the purple color reformed into a human form. Medusa is all right, she's actually playing me. What happened? Chapter 228. Get a double pass through the door, the swallowing of the small world, subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement, Watma. Lin Langtian had blood on the corners of his mouth, his black pupils tightened, and he wanted to curse. Looking at the appearance of the Snake Queen now, it seems that there is nothing at all. But how is this possible? According to his own memory, it was inevitable that the Snake Queen would be seriously injured after the calamity, and her body would be seized by the newly born soul of the seven-colored sky-swallowing python. Looking at the development of things just now, the actual situation is indeed the same. On this basis, he calculated with the strength of the third rank of Nirvana, and the Snake Queen's sister was too late to react and not strong enough to resist. The most important thing is that when Mu Shi was at his peak, he was the great power of the death profound realm that condensed his primordial spirit, which was comparable to the existence of Dozun in the world of the sky, and could be said to be similar to Xiao Huohuo's cheat grandfather Yao Zun. Even if the strength of these existences is damaged now, the perception and vision are still there, and it is impossible to judge the situation of the Queen of Snakes. But Mu Shi did not tell him that the purple color had recovered. What is this? Suddenly, Master Mu's weak voice sounded in Lin Langtian's mind. Langtian, hurry up, that Snake Queen has fully recovered. What? Lin Langtian was shocked, the change came too suddenly. Although I don't know the specific reason, but the Snake Queen's injury and energy loss can be recovered from everything, so leave immediately, Mu Shi urged eagerly. When the realm reaches the death profound realm, some life crises will be induced. He had a premonition that there was a danger of surpassing the Snake Queen. Damn it, Lin Langtian gritted his teeth fiercely. He didn't expect that he would lose rice if he didn't steal the pot. No, not just rice. Thinking of the ancient bloodline lifting talisman, it is almost like losing the lining of the pants. But Mu Shi's urgency made him understand that the situation was not optimistic and he had to go. Medusa, I will welcome you, you wait for me. After calculating the time for the 100 Dynasties War, Lin Langtian was confident that when Medusa broke through Dozun and reached the profound realm of the past life, he would be able to make a comeback. Or wait a month to refresh the crossing location, and I can try to work with some people. While contemplating how to take revenge, Lin Langtian secretly communicated with the special portal in his mind. I don't know, he is no longer the Lin Langtian he used to be. He is actually a traveler. He was a native of the island of Earth in his previous life. He was dispatched to the land of Kyushu as a spy for 30 years. On weekdays, he is bored and pays attention to the culture of the Dragon Kingdom. He also reads novels. Martial arts move the sky, fight to break through the universe, I have also seen it. He admired the people of Kyushu's brainhole in this regard, it is really powerful, even the most developed animation in Nijima is not enough. Advertisement, but he did not expect that he would reveal his identity when performing an information theft mission, and was shot while fleeing. As a result, he crossed over to the world of martial arts, and became the protagonist's biggest obsession in the early stage, filling the front of the whole book. 1/3 of the space runs through the villain of the full text. Lin Langtian. Lin Langtian's deity wanted to forcibly cultivate into a talisman master, but as a result, his soul was broken into pieces, and he took advantage of the loophole to perfectly integrate it. He inherited Lin Langtian's cultivation, memory, ability, and body. He was determined to live a different life, but what he sadly discovered was that his predecessor had the strength of a half-step good fortune, and he had done cruel things to the father of the Son of Luck, and the Son of Luck had already obtained the stone talisman, and also had the demon spirit Xiao Yan as his backing. Coupled with the particularity of the Child of Luck, he did not dare to deal with it immediately. But waiting to be taught a lesson is not the same thing. Fortunately, there is no way out. As a traveler, he awakened his own cheat, a double passing door that exists in the depths of his soul. Relying on the double pass door, he can go to the brother world of Chinkan world, the sky world. He has the resources of both worlds to plot, and with the power of double passing the door, he can be compatible with the power of the two worlds, use the martial arts of the two worlds, and rely on plundering and luck-related things to improve the portal, activate more abilities, and even travel through more worlds. So, he crossed. The first battle was in a city around the desert where the snake people were located. Through investigation, he knew the timeline of this world. It was less than a year before the Son of Luck, Xiao Huohuo, ascended to the Cloud Lanzong. It was the time when he was about to acquire Qinglian Earth Heartfire. So he became interested in Medusa, who doesn't like a woman with good looks and strength. And when he arrived at the Snake Human clan, he happened to find that the Snake Human Queen had finished her transformation and was waiting for another Snake Human Queen to wake up. As soon as he had an idea, he used the bloodline-lifting talisman, wanting to reenact the way to conquer Medusa. Everything should have gone smoothly, but now something has changed. But it does not matter. Reality is not fiction, and some situations and plots fluctuate normally. 10,000 steps back, I will go to Child of Luck to admit my mistake and hug my thighs. Wait. While thinking about it, Lin Langtian has activated the double-piercing door. The strange force of space hooked up and enveloped his body. The sense of being bound in the soul. Ran's eyes, who had been paying attention to everything in the dark, condensed, and his consciousness sharply captured the strangeness of Lin Langtian. It is a kind of autonomous spatial fluctuation, and the level is still above the main god in the pirate world, but the energy fluctuation is not strong. In other words, the speed of the plane when it transforms after landing is the same as the speed of the tractor, but can the plane and the tractor be the same thing? This kind of space power, although the energy is not much, but the level is high enough, so it cannot be forcibly interrupted. But that doesn't mean I can't stop it. 4 bullets. The dyed real body appeared, and it had long been open to reincarnation. Mangekyo's right eye shot a beam of light, and it was not as close as Lin Langtian's body. Advertisement, ADBF, go back in time and go back to the second before Lin Langtian just communicated through the double door. Nothing has happened yet. Okay. Seeing that the surrounding environment did not change at all, Lin Langtian's eyes change. Being diligent and cautious, he was ready to leave without even thinking of fighting Zikai. Why didn't everything happen? But following closely, he noticed the die that suddenly appeared in front of him. Who is he? What's this? Noticing Ran's right eye, Lin Langtian's heart rang loudly and tried to come back again. Crossing. Lin Langtian kept trying to communicate through the double door, but he never succeeded. Moreover, he felt that the energy in his body was gradually disappearing. To be precise, it is becoming less and less felt. It's the snake seal. Lin Langtian, who knew the whole plot, understood that he was being treated the same way as the Ice Emperor. It's over. Lin Langtian was desperate. Maximum reliance does not work. Mu Shi fell into a deep sleep for helping him to forcefully mobilize the chi of Nirvana. The vitality in the body was sealed again, and now he only has a body that is much stronger than ordinary people. What to do? 9 Lin Langtian tried to talk to Ran. At least ask for forgiveness, right? But Ran didn't give him the chance. Name. Dyeing Lin Langtian's brows a little, directly shocking the soul, and then opening his left eye to exert his 5 senses domination. Lin Langtian, Lin Lang, Matsushita Yi, 3 names? And a Japanese name? Ran raised his brows and continued to ask, identity? The young patriarch of the Lin dynasty of the Dian dynasty, the spy of Ishima. Spy? Ran guessed what happened. Advertisement. Knowing from Lin Langtian's memory that he had killed a few Kyushu hunters, Ran wished to kill him a few more times. Dying opens the mouth of a small world, knowledge. Those who obliterate or convince the luck of the person can occupy the luck of the other party, which is not limited. At the same time, he received everything from Master Mu. Immediately after, a golden sphere exuding light and a light blue soul body appeared, and there was a figure in the golden sphere, which could be a middle-aged man in deep sleep. A double-passing door that can be nourished and evolved by luck. It's really not a pity to die. This primordial spirit, swallow it too. This is the soul of Mu Shi Yuanshan and Lin Langtian. The time-devouring power came, and Lin Langtian's soul turned into a stream of information, which was dyed and obtained and filtered in a way of reading. Don't do it. What's more, what about a double-passing door without a master? Interesting. Lin Langtian's body instantly turned to ashes. Without further ado, Ranjian Mu Shi's primordial spirit was also devoured. Read, Gongfa. Boom! Immediately, he felt that his soul power had grown. Get luck items, such as the ancestral talismans of the Chinkan world, holy objects, or the burning art of the sky world, different fires. There are many ways to increase your luck. If that's the case, then I'll just read it directly. 9. Double passing the door or self-identified master cannot be plundered. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. But Rand doesn't want to miss such an auxiliary cheat. Without rushing master, Rand focused on the last and most precious harvest. In front of him is the great power of the Death Profound realm. Those super sects in the Eastern Profound region are also absolutely high level, and the Dao sect can even be ranked in the top 5, which can bring me some surprises. A dazzling light shone in his right eye, and he didn't forget that his small world was a bit special, and even the fragments of the godhead of the Space Master could be swallowed. All levels of martial arts, etc. As the villain of Chinken, Lin Langtian has a lot of luck in himself. After being swallowed by Lin Lang, he activated the double passing door for the first time, and he can come to the world of the sky. There is thunder in the small world. Moisturizing means that the double passing door is bound to the host. Whenever the host's own airluck reaches a certain level, the portal can open a new world door. Chapter 229 Purple Butterfly. I know that my sister-in-law is my brother-in-law's most intimate cotton padded jacket. Previous chapter next chapter advertisement, sure enough, it can be swallowed, 39. Feeling the changes in the small world, Ran couldn't help showing a smile. The double piercing door can increase the effect with the increase of the host's luck. It must be a treasure of high quality, not to mention the chaotic beads, nor to say it is a congenital treasure, but it is definitely a congenital spiritual treasure. This kind of treasure is generally self-identified, or the really powerful and powerful can forcibly subdue it. This can be seen from the fact that those powerful spiritual treasures in the prehistoric world place great importance on fate. If there are some low-grade spiritual treasures that are deliberately hidden, even Da Luo Jingxian cannot be counted as one. But Dying has its own methods. His small world is different, and he has the ability to explore the world in chaos given by Jinbang. This exploration ability is very powerful, and the existence of Jinbang is even more supreme. And the results now confirm his guess. Double piercing doors are really swallowed up. And there have been changes. The ability to pass through doors has been improved, but it does not increase the ability to go to the new world, but to dominate the rough world. 99. Secondly, I can convert any form of energy in my body into any form, or no matter what kind of power and complex moves, I can use one kind of energy to perform, even if I dominate the world, I'm not afraid of spiritual power assimilation. 93. Thirdly, increasing the number of crossings, as long as I am willing, I can let any person in the sky world and the person in the world of Chinken only communicate, and the energy in the body is not limited. Fourth, resisting the torrent of space and walking around the edge of the world. 11. My luck is very strong now, enough to open new world, but it is limited by my strength. This is completely understandable. I can now say that I am the nominal ruler of the entire ninja world. Naruto and Sasuke are both younger brothers. Kagaya is loyal and killed by me in one go. The luck is indeed strong. 9. As long as the strength breaks through, the portal to a new Dion world can be opened. The universe corresponds to the sky, and the great ruler corresponds to a certain catastrophe world. Ran silently digests all the information. Double passing through the door is really a pleasant surprise. It greatly speeds up the speed of the small world becoming stronger, and it can be used even faster if it is used in a chat group. Thank you for this great gift. Thank you insincerely. Ran turned to look at Zikai, smiled and said, how does Duzong feel? It's not enough to see in front of you, it's just average. Zikai curled her lips. Advertisement Tsunere's disease strikes again. Zidai leaned on the wrist that hugged Zikai, and said with a smile. Brother-in-law, I have broken through Do Huang, it feels great. 99. It's still Dyer who is sensible. Ransao picked Zidai's hair, and then turned over and took out an elixir. Zikai, who was about to say something, was stunned and asked, what is this? Transfiguration pill. Shaping pill. Zidai and Zikai both widened their eyes, and then revealed Yun's eager eyes. If the monster gets the transformation pill, it can understand transformation without being limited by the realm, and then it can be cultivated in a human way to become stronger, but the lifespan is still the lifespan of the monster itself. The transformation pill is a dream treasure for any monster below the 7th rank. Back then, when Zidai and Zikai were able to cultivate to the pinnacle of Do Wang in more than 20 years, the half-demon body was indispensable, not to mention completely human. When Kair's realm is stable, you will accept the transformation. Another person will give you an immortal being. In case of an emergency like today, there is a whole card. Stuffing the transformation pill into Zidai's hands at will, Ran took out 2 fairy beans and handed them to the 2 women. Brother-in-law, this I. Looking at the transformation pill in her hand, Zidai felt that it was a hot taro. She wanted this pill very much, and after taking it, it was transformed into a successful form, and the time it took for her to become Do Zong would be shortened by at least 70%. But just because it was precious, she was embarrassed about it. If it is exchanged for resources, this is a huge wealth. But before she could finish speaking, Ran interrupted her with a smile. If you don't want it, I'll just eat jelly beans. To people, the shape-changing pill is really like a blood-returning pill. Okay, Dyer, accept it. Zidai is still struggling, but Zikai promises it for her. I'm all dyed, what does my sister take a shape-changing pill? The police meet with your brother-in-law, Zikai said with a red face. Because she was embarrassed, she still turned her head not to look at the dye. Purple Butterfly and Ran exchanged glances and smiled humorously. Since my sister said so, then I will accept it. Zadie smiled and put the transforming pill and fairy beans into the space ring. Advertisement at this moment, there was a sudden sound of breaking through the air all around. Her Majesty the Queen, protect the 2 queens. The thief died. The great array of 10,000 snakes and the blood sacrifice have blessed me, and it is not a pity to die in old age. It turned out that the snakes of Medusa's men were long overdue. The first elder was obviously frightened by the attack of Lin Langtian's hook, and he had to deal with it decisively and sacrifice directly. Zikai's eyebrows were about to speak, but K-Ran's movements were faster than hers. All on your knees. A strong breath came out in an instant. That is the level of Far Dozong. It is unfathomable, and even makes people absolutely dozun, and even Dosheng is just like this. There is no special police's vindictive fluctuations, and the space is blocked by this tyrannical power. Peeved. The snake man who was about to start the formation fell to his knees, his body trembled, and he couldn't do anything. And some of the strong people who were preparing for the blood sacrifice fell to the ground after spraying a mouthful of blood, also lying on the ground unable to move. 0. For flowers. The great elder fell into the big pit like a meteorite, dying his footsteps. This power is too strong, too powerful, it makes people feel unstoppable. Despair rose in the hearts of some serpent people. What kind of powerful existence is attacking? Could it be that their snake people are about to become history today? All the snake people panicked, until Zikai's voice sounded. It's almost there, they're all members of Dyer and I'm doing it once and for all, lest some unobtrusive dude do really stupid things, slap you in the face, or be stupid and question me. 99. Rand defended one sentence, but still withdrew his momentum. Advertisement. Zikai rolled her eyes in her heart, but a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. She likes such domineering acts of dying, and she doesn't mind being the property of dying. She knows the charm of herself and her younger sister Dai. 90% of the 9 men and snakes in the clan aim to marry them. There are also many strong human beings around who have ideas. The necessary shock is very important. Moreover, the snake people are not allowed to intermarry with humans. Some elders are very stubborn and abide by the rules. It is necessary for Rand to show such a hand. And Zikai understands that Rand also has the intention of preventing the elders and the others from offering blood sacrifices. Brother-in-law, Haki. Zadi stuck out her tongue at Diane's mischievous expression. Otherwise, how can you be worthy of the queen? You say so, Rand laughed. Purple Butterfly nodded frantically. Zikai was half ashamed and half annoyed. She can't do anything about it, but she is not used to Zidai. Who the hell are you, sister? 92. Of course it's your mutual sister. You are her sister-in-law. Hey, sister, you are quite clear about your identity. You bastard, remember that I am your closest friend. Really, in the human storybook that Commander May brought me in the past, it clearly stated that my sister-in-law is the most intimate cotton padded jacket for my brother-in-law. 99. What? Yu Mei actually showed you such a book, and I have no shortage of her. Phi Moon Wan. Great Elder. The dialogue between the two sisters is very informative. Rand smiled at this scene. The two sisters played around for a while. Z Cairo remembered that all the snake people were still kneeling, so they got up and said that they would convene the clan to announce something. Rand was not interested in participating in this matter, and after talking to the two of them, they greeted them in the small world and mobilized Shuangchuanmen. I am now in the form of a human being and immortal, and my realm is only higher or lower than that of the ancestors, and my combat power is even higher than that of the sky. The embryo of the plane, I don't know if it can be found and harvested. If you can't, you have to go to Jushin Taiching Palace to have a look, people. Chapter 230. The True Incense Series of Snake People, looking for plane embryo, subscription. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement. What? Stepping into a space Uzumaki, Rand came to an unfamiliar environment, a place where many valuable items were placed without losing style. Divine sense swept the surroundings. He probably understood that the clan of the Lin clan of the nearby Dian dynasty should now be in Lin Langtian's private residence. He also detected the aura of the strong Lin clan, except for a few half-step nirvana. The strongest is a nirvana strong comparable to Dozong. A low-ranked dynasty, even one of the strongest clans, has such a little background. After figuring out the place, Rand didn't rush to act, but sat down cross-legged and sensed the power of this world first. Is this Yuan Li? And it really is different from Do Qi and natural energy. Compared to the main attacking vindictive energy, the main functional natural energy is more spiritual. So the first strange thing in this world is the plane embryo, and the birth of the 8 great ancestral symbols? Fun power. After sensing it for a while, Rand then unreservedly released his divine sense, which directly enveloped the entire Xuantian continent. He was not afraid of being discovered for a year, because before the plane embryo was mastered, people in the rough world could not come to this world at will, but needed many means of exploration. The typical representatives are the Fusanchi, Lord and the alien demon emperor of that year. My current strength is comparable to that of Heavenly Sovereign. But my current realm can be regarded as the Supreme Being, which is similar to the martial ancestor who first entered the ancestral realm, and is much worse than the talisman and the demon emperor. Already have the qualifications to let the plane embryo recognize the master. The dyed eyes became hot. If the embryo of the plane recognizes the master, it will become the master of this world. That is to say, as long as he obtains the plane embryo, he can integrate this new high-level middle world into his own small world. This is a one-step thing. It is equivalent to saying that his own world directly becomes a high-level middle-level world, and at that time, he can easily destroy a world equal to one with the pure power of his physical body. So the next center of gravity is the plane embryo. After pondering for a while, Rand released his spiritual sense with all his strength, trying to find the embryo of the plane and let it recognize the master. But a strange thing happened. No matter how he looked, even with the right eye, he couldn't find the embryo, as if it hadn't been born yet. But this is absolutely impossible. Back then, the Talisman Master and the Demon Emperor, the two Calamity World visitors, made a big check, but it was just for the embryonic plane, indicating that this thing must have been born. Wait, talisman, alien demon emperor. Ran finds himself a little stupid. Although he came to the Chinkan world by relying on the double-piercing door, he was like a primitive creature in this world in terms of breath, and he had too many advantages over the talisman master and the alien demon emperor. Advertisement, but that is also relative. In fact, the talisman did a lot of things for this world in the past, and various layouts, but only sensed the embryo of the plane, and at the last moment encountered the invasion of the alien demon emperor, and the success was a complete failure. Because he is a person who is ashamed of the world, the talisman master is very aware of the dangers of the alien demon emperor family. All sacrifices themselves to seal the alien demon emperor, only thinking that this world can be born in the local ancestral realm, Earth Supreme, and can be recognized by the plane embryo. As for the Ice Lord, the favorite disciple of the talisman that year, he actually came from the world of Dakong, and sacrificed himself to help Martial Ancestor reach the ancestral realm. But even so, it was very difficult for Martial Ancestor to find a genus embryo. Finally, rely on the power of heaven. Sure enough, I still have to go to the Jushin Taiching Palace first. Ran pushed his nose bridge glasses. This Dongxuanyu super sect also seems to have some origins with the talisman master of that year, but it cultivates the supreme power that directly points to its origin. Great power. Dai seized the key. The direct line of the Jushin Taiching Palace is passed down as Tai Shang induction technique. To practice this martial art, one needs to be pure in body and mind, otherwise, the practice will be self-destructed. In order to cultivate the supreme induction technique, in addition to the inheritance at birth, there is only double cultivation. Theoretically, I can no longer cultivate the supreme power. But that's a manifesto for the weak. Double-piercing doors can transform all the powers of the world, and it is natural to be too high. What's more, my realm and strength are here. Rand didn't think it was too good, so he decided to give it a try. What is too high? According to understanding, it should be the purest power in the world, and it should be localized to the soul level. Thinking of this, Rand's consciousness moved, opened his own spiritual body, and with the help of the power of double penetration, he completely integrated into this world. At this moment, he felt that his divine sense had obtained a myth. Any point, anywhere in the world, wherever you want. Even, he can feel the consciousness of mountains, rivers, plains and all things. He also felt the disgusting smell of strange demons. And when these are shielded, detached, Ron felt that he could enter a mysterious world. At the same time, Rand tries to find the plane embryo, and Zikai and Zedi are holding a meeting of the snake people. Next, I have something to announce. Zikai took a step, stood on the top of the void, and said in an unquestionable tone, "From today onwards, my name is Zikai, my sister is Zedai, and the snake people are ruled by 2 emperors." Advertisement. Hearing this, all the snake people were not surprised, up to the elders, down to the ordinary people. Now, Her Majesty the Queen, it should be said that Kai Huang has broken through Duzong, and is the undeserved #1 powerhouse of the snake people. Even if the elders can only defeat them with the 10,000 snake formation and sacrifice, who dares to disobey? What's more, the Butterfly Emperor has also broken through to the level of Dowang, ranking among the top ranks of the snake people. The 2 sisters joined forces, and none of the snake people could resist. What's more, the 2 queens are about to lead them on the road of rise, who would be foolish to resist and question. Zikai looked at the expressions of all the people in her eyes and nodded with satisfaction. At the rear, Zikai Do-Chi transformed into wings and flew to Zedai's side, receiving the respected gazes of the people. She is no stranger to all this. Before reaching the pinnacle of Dowang, she and Zikai took turns to rhyme in the clan, and they were Her Majesty the Queen. This time she did not refuse Zikai's proposal, because she knew it was a win-win situation. Second thing. Zikai retracted her gaze, shy in her heart, but Xian Shan said calmly, "Ji-Ran is the emperor of our clan, and seeing him in the future will be like seeing me." Ji-Ran is Dai. The surname Ji was added casually by him. After all, they are descendants of Yanwang and Wangdi in Kyushu. It is absolutely right to use the surname of Wangdi. Anyway, the origin of most surnames is related to the surname Ji. This, compared with the previous incident, this second incident made all the snake people talk about it. But considering the powerful force that made everyone unable to move just because of his aura before Ran, even the snake man who admired Zikai did not speak. They are not stupid. Her Majesty the Queen has made a decision, and it is useless to say that they are against it, and they will be hated. And that strong man is too strong. Even the ants dared to oppose the decision of the giant elephant? In the end, it was the first elder who sighed and stood up and said, "Your Majesty, in order to preserve blood, the queen of our clan does not allow intermarriage with foreigners. Protect the pure blood of Medusa. This is the responsibility of the elders. Even if her reason tells her that it is death to object, she must do it." Yes, to everyone's surprise, Zikai did not get angry because of the elder's rebuttal this time. Instead, she grinned and said lightly, "I forgot to tell you that Prince Rand's strength is a half-step fighting emperor." All snake people. Hiss, are their ears wrong? Half-step duty. Advertisement, Your Majesty, you said that human, no, is His Royal Highness, and the strength is half-step Do-Di, the elder asked with excitement. Half-step Do-Di, that is half-step Do-Di. To be reasonable, even if the strength of Dai is Do-Huang, with the support of Do-Zong realm Zikai, they can't object. Raising objections is just a formality. The purpose is to remind Zikai that blood is the most important thing. Remember to cultivate a suitable clan in the future, or remember to use a good medicinal herb to warm up your offspring. As a result, Ran directly became a half-emperor. Who can refute this? And the most important point is that the bloodline of the supreme powerhouse in the Dusheng realm has already begun to upgrade, and nothing can be seen in the early stage, but there will be obvious changes when Dusheng 9 stars. And when you reach the realm of Dodi, you can even benefit future generations. To put it bluntly, if Zikai and Ran gave birth to offspring, their bloodline would be completely improved, and it would be better than taking some 7 grade 8 grade medicinal herbs. The Emperor never lies. The performance of the Great Elder and others was very satisfied with the performance of the dyed purple color, and thought to himself. However, it was revealed that she was still holding the air of an empress, pretending to be indifferent. With Ran's 1.5 strength, my snake people can immediately travel to the desert and choose a place with a superior environment to live in. Even, Ran can directly transform the desert environment and turn it into the most suitable environment for my snake people to live in. In addition, there are countless alchemists under Ran, who can provide us with all kinds of medicinal herbs. For example, Hua Xing Dan. Saying that, Zikai gave Zidai a wink, the latter understood and immediately took out the transformation pill. Feel the aroma of grape strange medicine on the medicine. The members of the serpent tribe trembled. The police said Xiao Xiao, they had to make an appointment for this personal guard. Your Majesty the Queen, can you hold it by yourself? The Great Elder asked charmingly. What do you mean? Zikai raised her eyebrows. My subordinate, do you want to send some more beauties to His Royal Highness, or? The Great Elder glanced at Zidai meaningfully. Violet. Great Elder, I didn't expect you to be such a great elder. At the same time, the universe on the other side. A wry smile appeared on Ran's face. It seems that I have to find Lin Qingzu. Chapter 231. The plan is too high, the shortcut to the heart. Subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement. Looks like I'm still thinking about it. Unless the realm reaches the heavenly supreme rank, I cannot forcibly give up the plain embryo to recognize the master. Only a different way. In Chinkan world, in Lin Langtian's room, Ran sighed for a while. At this time, with the help of the powerful spiritual power brought by Samsara Mangekyo, and the method of condensing the primordial spirit extracted from Master Mu's mind, his spiritual consciousness has grown continuously, and he has come to the chaos above the world and completely integrated. After entering here, he felt a quaint idea similar to a living being. But after being quaint, it is very obviously immature. That kind of 1-year fluctuation is like a fetus that has just been born and has no knowledge. That's a plain embryo. When he came into contact with this thing, there was a flash of enlightenment in Ran's mind. At this moment, for the first time, he experienced the power of this world. According to the original text, the Supreme Being is the spirit of the plane. Now, he really felt the power, weak, fresh, ignorant. But it happens to have supreme power. Seeing a class embryo is like seeing the most supreme existence in this world. This kind of existence has not yet given birth to any thought, and it is not like a living being. But it is indeed the most powerful creature born in this world. The people of Jushin Taiching Palace cultivate the so-called supreme power, which all originate from it. This is a treasure. No wonder it is called the first strange thing in the world. Back then, the O3 alien demon emperor and Fu Zhu came for this purpose. If you get the spirit of the plane, you can become the master of the plane in this high-level medium and rough world, and have the power of the entire plane, so as to break through the realm of heavenly supremacy. However, they are all from the world of Dion, not the aborigines born in this world, so there is some gap between them. To be precise, the talisman is a person from the great rough world and not from the Xuantian continent, so there is a half gap. So he once sensed the spirit of the plane, and even contacted it, but he failed to control it. Advertisement. For this reason, he took 8 apprentices around this side of the world, that is, the 8 ancient masters. All of them are the great powers of the 3 tribulations of reincarnation, among which the master of devouring can be described as stunning. It's a pity that before the birth of the master of the plane, the demon emperor killed with an army. And these evil races are not even people from the great Yan world, so they are even more unable to sense the spirit of the plane. But the demons also have their own methods, that is, to turn this world into a demon domain, and to erode the cultivation ability into the root of the needs of the demon family. As long as most of this plane is polluted, the spirit of the plane will also be polluted, and the explanation will naturally become the possession of the alien demon emperor, helping him to become a demon emperor comparable to the heavenly sovereign. In order to prevent all this, the talisman burned himself to seal Xiaoyi demon emperor, in order to give this world and the rough world a chance. This is the spirit of sacrifice as someone who surrounds the world. But now, with the help of the double-piercing door, Ran can rely on strength to find the plane embryo. Although my realm is strong enough and my strength is enough, I still can't succeed. When Ran's divine sense was close to some distance from the embryo of the plane, the latter obviously noticed it, and immediately burst into the light of the hook, stirring the shallow chaotic aura. But by virtue of everything being restored, that plane embryo has disappeared. Ran understands that this is the plane embryo hiding from him. Moreover, he didn't even give him a chance to fudge. This shows that his previous judgment was right and wrong. Correct, because he did rely on his own strength to find the plane embryo. Although the number 1 strange thing in the world has now slipped away, he can still be found by relying on his strong god-tier knowledge. But find it again, as long as it gets close to a certain level, the plane spirit will still slip away. Repeating this behavior makes no sense. To occupy the plane embryo, there are only two ways. One is that the strength reaches the level of Heavenly Supreme, forcibly capturing the spirit of the plane. But if he does this, the help that this plane can bring will be limited, and it is purely to increase his world rank. The second is to communicate with the spirit of the plane, Flicker, Ashe, to persuade him. Then Ran can use the power of the plane spirit, not only to break through the realm twice in a row, but also to evolve his own world. The essence of the means of the Demon Emperor is also the same, but as an intruder, after he needs to demonize the world, he can use the superior means to communicate with the spirit of the plane. What makes people helpless is that Taishang is not a physical power such as spiritual power, Yuan power, and fighting Qi, but a special power that directly cultivates the soul, so double piercing the door cannot allow me to have this power, or say it can't be done right now. This kind of power to cultivate directly with the soul is either the practice of the Jushin Taiching Palace's direct line of practice from the beginning of cultivation, or it is double cultivation. Thinking of this, Rand felt a little helpless. Advertisement. Isn't this the girl who forced him to go to the Nine Heavens Taiching Palace? Fortunately, the disciples recruited by this super sect valued their appearance very much, so he couldn't suffer. The best candidate is Lin Qingzu, and it's best to help her achieve the wheel mirror. When the anger and death in the body are balanced, it is better to do double cultivation. Looks like we'll have to wait, and if you want people to be willing, you have to plan ahead. Dai's thoughts turned sharply. It mainly analyzes Lin Qingzu's character. According to the description of the original work, this super sect young palace master has a very warm and cold personality, gets along with people in a friendly manner, speaks softly, and looks like he is easy to get along with. But in fact, his heart is like a mysterious ice, and he is ruthless to the enemy. The true temperament is cold and does not like to fight with others. She is as introverted as the snow lotus in the Tianshan Mountains. She hides everything in the depths of her heart, is wrapped in coldness, and does not let people touch it. Pour your own drink and never mention it to outsiders. Only those close to him can feel the fiery warmth in his cold heart. In addition, he is arrogant and has an invisible contempt for others. Because he has been in a super sect since he was a child, he is the top hook in the world, so he has seen too many young heroes, and is sought after by countless men, so it is difficult to mobilize the slightest mind. That is a phoenix soaring in the sky, full of coldness and arrogance in his bones, a strong woman type. Learn the overlord, take the bow hard, and only die. As for pursuit, licking a dog is not a good death. 99. The special police are people like Lin Qingzu. If you actively pursue them, you will be alienated by their vigilance and fail to achieve their goals. 22. Speaking of which, only by accidentally getting her body and leaving a shadow in her heart in a more violent way, coupled with her own excellence, it is possible to achieve her goal. This can be done if we arrange it. But as a man, if you don't know ahead of time, that's fine. I won't be hypocritical, but I'm wise to take advantage of the situation, deceive myself and play the victim. It's not what the strong do. I'm not weak. In my current world, it's best to play a domineering president stream. But not to the Nine Heavens Taiching Palace itself. After a unified analysis, the Dai developed the most suitable program. Speaking of which, the territory of the Xuanchen continent is very clear, and the police are divided into the Chaos Devil Sea, the Demon Territory, and the four Profound Territories. Among them, the Demon Domain is the place where the beasts are entrenched, and the second son of the human race. Advertisement: the Chaos Demon Sea is the place where the Sea Clan is entrenched, while the human clan occupies the island to establish power. The last four profound domains are dominated by the human race, and are divided into four great domains: East, West, North, South, and South, each of which is ruled by one to several supersects, and has some other sects or dynasties under its jurisdiction. The dynasty is divided into low level, intermediate level, high level, super, and the same is true for sects. In the Sifang Xuanyu, there is an overlord level super 320 sect in the Beixuanyu, which is a dark temple. There are several strong mirrors in it, and the master of the temple wears a dark ancestral talisman, stronghold. Switching to the Sky World, that is, Dosheng Peak relies on the dark ancestral talisman to fight Emperor 4th or even 6th rank. It is not weak, and there are a lot of super sects in Dongxuanyu. The strongest among them is Yuanmen. The three giants are all strong in the wheel mirror, and they can ferry back at any time to become the strong in the reincarnation realm. Daozu has only 2 reincarnation realm powerhouses. There are 8 sects in the Eastern Profound region. Taoism, this sect pursues casualness and is unruly. Jushin Taiching Palace, needless to say, Yuanmen, arrogant and domineering, delusionally rely on alien demons to unify the Dongxuan region and seek skin with tigers. Wan Puppet Gate is extremely tyrannical and is good at refining puppets. In the future, Sasori and San Shinobi can be used for further study. Fu Zong and Shenzong are both majoring in spiritual power and minoring in Yuan power. Jianzong, a set of Yuanli Yunjian cultivation method, is extremely powerful, and its attack power is unparalleled. 93. Hongwanghal, the most powerful sect for body refinement. These 8 sects, Daozong is used to make good alliances, Yuanmen is used to make Moe, and Jushin Taiching Palace will be used for marriage, then swallow the Hongwang Palace. That's right, Ran is thinking of marriage. As the lord of a power above all super sects, isn't it a matter of course to marry the most honorable woman in the same level of power? Lin Qingzu might be conflicted, but he was absolutely successful with his momentum. Waiting for the other party to become a wife, that is to ask the law of double cultivation. At that time, take the shortcut that leads directly to the heart, and get along with each other day and night. Naturally, they are in love with each other. Then, let's go to Hongguangzong now. Dai slowly got up and took a step across the hook. The space ripples rise. Chapter 232. The Lin clan shakes and descends on the Hongguang Tower. Subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The space fluctuations flashed, and the figure of Ren disappeared suddenly. After a while, a maid's voice sounded outside the door. Young master, the clan girl is visiting. 99. Clan girl refers to the core members of the Lin clan who are not low in status, who can become elders in the future, and even get the support of the clan to try to break through nirvana, which is similar to Lin Langtian's status. The daughter of the inquiry was a pretty woman, but in front of the woman Lin Kiki beside her were Huang Huo and Hao Yue Zhengli. Lin Kiki was dressed in a white dress, with a beautiful appearance. The most surprising thing was that there were a pair of double pupils in his eyes, and there was blue light overflowing from the edge of the double pupils, which looked extremely bewitching. Go in and have a look. After getting no response for a long time, Lin Kiki gestured to Lin Langtian's maid. This is not presumptuous. There is a special place for training in the clan, and the core members usually go there if they want to practice or even make breakthroughs. The private house is only used for resting or entertaining guests. It is not too much to let the personal maid enter the room to check. Yes, clan girl. The maid bowed and followed the order, pushed the door and walked into the house. After a while, she went to Qinlai and said with surprise, the daughter of the clan, the young master is not in the private house. How could this be? Lin Kiki raised his eyebrows slightly. When Lin Langtian was here, the patriarch Lin Fan told him personally. In the Tianyan Mountains, a shogunate of a strong nirvana realm appeared. In order to avoid competition, their families decided to send the younger generation to lead people to investigate, and Lin Langtian was the leader of the Lin clan this time. Lin Langtian knew about this for a long time, so he would not be a Jimin recently, nor would he be busy practicing. Why not be there? You stay with me, I'll go in and have a look. 99. In order to avoid suspicion, Lin Kiki called a personal maid and 2 guards next to him and walked into Lin Langtian's private house. Crash. Lin Kiki just stepped into the private house one by one, and a space suddenly appeared. Immediately following, it was necessary to condense into a substantial spiritual power hook and pour it back into her body. Advertisement. Not only that, but there is an influx of spiritual power visible to the naked eye. Lin Kiki's aura began to soar. Yuandan realm is the peak of great perfection. Half-step creation of the 3 realms, getting started with formation. Xiaocheng. Dacheng, create Qi realm. Small success, peak. It is only half a step away from the great achievement of Qi constructing realm. This is. 0.11. Feeling the skyrocketing cultivation realm, Lin Kiki was immediately stunned. As a member of the Lin clan, Tianzhou has resources and talent for eyes. Most importantly, she has connections among the elders. Her status does not belong to Lin Langtian, who has worked hard for everything by herself. It's just that compared to Lin Langtian, she is more than 10 years younger, and now she is 18 years old, and she has not yet broken through the Yuandan realm. But as long as she has the full power of the master's pupils, she is confident that she will go very far with the master talisman. But now, inexplicably, he had broken through to the Qi creation realm, and he was only a little short of Lin Langtian. But the age difference between the 2 parties is more than 10 years. If he had 10 years, Lin Kiki would be sure to raise his cultivation to the level of breaking through nirvana. This was a huge surprise, but how is it all? Lin Kiki was at a loss. At this moment, a message emerged. Lin Langtian is a strange demon. The alien is. If the sect master of the super sect Hongguang sect is here, it will be deliberately eliminated. Leave a chance, it will dissipate within 3 days, and those who reach the standard can inherit it. If you can enter the final stage by participating in the 100 Dynasties War, you can use your imprint to worship the great desolate sect. Hi, advertisement. Lin Kiki was shocked when he accepted all my information. She didn't expect that there is such an existence in this world. No wonder Lin Langtian didn't die after being bullied by the clan and fell off the cliff, but began to rise. It turned out to be the power of aliens. As for himself, now he has the opportunity left by the super sect master. 100 Dynasties War. In the final stage, you can join the Great Desolate Sect, one of the 8 super sects. Feeling his own cultivation base, feeling the spiritual power in his mind that is comparable to the powerhouse of Qi creating realm. I felt an extra body training method in my mind. Lin Kiki was certain that everything was real. The police said, you have to go. Lin Kiki hurriedly went to find Lin Fan, the head of the Lin clan. What did you say? Hearing the news reported by Lin Kiki, Lin Fan was shocked. The Dian dynasty was just a low-level dynasty. Although the Lin clan was the top existence in this dynasty, it was actually nothing in the entire Xuanxin continent. Lin Fan didn't know what a strange demon was, but he also understood after hearing what Lin Kiki said, and was shocked that there were such scourges in this world. However, he was also the most powerful controller of a dynasty. Lin Fan still had some understanding of the 100 great dynasties and sects. The Dian dynasty was not strong among the lower dynasties, and the number of places to participate in the 100 Dynasties War was very limited, and they had to undergo strict selection every year. As for the Dian dynasty, the warning said that the candidates can pass the assessment, even if they only get some opportunities in the proving ground, and can go far in the Nirvana realm. That is all earned. And the power among them can surpass the royal family, or even replace it. If one's luck is enough to be favored by some sects with living profound masters, then the future is even more promising. It is true that he wants to occupy the great desolate sect, but he is not in a hurry to find the righteous master, but prepares to accept a younger brother first. A perfect match for the prehistoric sect, the Lord of Prehistoric Desolation. A master of the three tribulations of reincarnation. Ask for a win-win situation. The resources given to the dynasty by the sects are enough for the Dayan dynasty to take a small step. Has the great desolate ancestral talisman, and sleeps the great desolate lord. Advertisement. That class of the strongest, the worst is also the primary samsara's turned-back realm powerhouse. But now, Lin Kiki actually got a ticket to the super sect, and it was left by the strongest of this super sect. Lin Fan personally became Lin Kiki's Taoist protector, and the latter would go to the Dayan Mountains as the person in charge to compete for the relics of the Nirvana realm powerhouse. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. But before that, I have to replace the great desolate sect first, otherwise it will be funny. 5. Lin Fan made up his mind. Great opportunity. Afterwards, the Lin clan was shaken. If it is possible to join the great desolate sect, it will not be a problem to reach the profound realm of life and death in the future, and my Lin clan may also give birth to such a strong person. 99. Good. We must do our best to help Coco participate in the 100 great dynasties and pass the primary election. The former has the supreme ocean, the latter has the supreme Dharmakaya. I don't think I can achieve it perfectly. 99. Immediately, the elders' meeting was held. As for the super sect, that was something Lin Fan didn't dare to think about in his dreams, for fear of art reading. With a smile, Ran came to a high tower. At this time, he has come to the Chaos Demon Sea, the Heavenly Wind Sea. Blessed in disguise. Lin Kiki's relationship with that person is rare in the clan, so it may be possible to bring him to the Great Desolate Sect, which is a pleasant surprise. Before going again, Lin Fan made a trip to the royal family, and the two developed some agreements. And all this happened, Dai did not know. There are imprints left in this inheritance, and it seems that the person can be easily found at that time. 93. For low-level dynasties, it was a legendary figure, an extremely powerful existence that could destroy low-level dynasties with one move. But, okay, when Lin Kiki got his legacy, he felt it. Benchmarking the peak of Do Di in the world of the sky. She was the one who got the inheritance, but it was fate. 99. This is the Hongwang Tower. Chapter 233. The Great Ancestral Talisman, the Master of the Great Wilderness makes money again. Subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The Chinkan world is an advanced middle world. The strongest person that can theoretically be born in this world is the strong person in the reincarnation realm, comparable to Do Di. The reincarnation realm powerhouse is placed in the chat group, and the level is the 9th order. And the ancestral realm, that is a breaker, belongs to the strong who transcend the world's restrictions, and needs to be forced to ascend to the upper realm. Xiao Huohuo in the sky world has been immersed in the Do Emperor realm for many years, swallowing up all the strange fires in the world, and when his cultivation base reaches the peak of Do Emperor, he also encountered a similar situation. When they met in the space tunnel, Martial Ancestor entered the ancestral realm under the sacrifice of the Ice Lord, first entry to Earth Supreme. While Emperor Yan was immersed for many years to reach the peak of Do Di, half-step Earth Supreme. All in all, both are strong. Under them, there are 2 eights each. The strongest under Martial Ancestor is the 8 Ancient Lords. The 8 Masters are the disciples who were trained by the Talisman Master, and were given to Xuanchen Continent's self-born wonders of heaven and earth, the 8 great ancestral talismans. Therefore, their titles and ancestral symbols are the same. The points are life and death, devouring, darkness, space, flood, ice, flame and thunder. Because of this, these 8 titles have extraordinary significance in the world of Xuanchen Continent. If it is a weak ant, and those who do not know are not afraid, these titles may be used. Such as what Yanwang, Leiju and so on. However, anyone who knows a little about the secrets of heaven and earth will not touch these taboos. If it is late, it may also be secretly cleared by the strange demons hidden in some demon realms between heaven and earth. Therefore, the prehistoric sect of the East Profound region can take the prehistoric name and become a super sect, and it still exists safe and sound, and is known for its physical strength. Hongwangzong. Chaos 320 Magic Sea Pagoda. The ancestral symbol of the Great Desolation, the Lord of the Great Desolation. There must be a connection. What? Dying a step across the rhyme, space twist art. In the eyes of outsiders, the prehistoric pagoda, which was impregnable, was just a solid and special place in front of him. Countless enchantments and the air of desolation in the sky, Ran has entered the topmost position of the prehistoric pagoda. Imprinted into the eyes is a sea of energy filled with purple gold. Advertisement. These energies are vigorous and violent, permeating every corner of this special space. What a powerful force of desolation. 9. It is worthy of the place where the Lord of the Wilderness sleeps. Looking at this sea like purple gold energy, Ran couldn't help but sigh in admiration. When the Martial Ancestor came here in the future, he would just absorb a little bit of the barren power leaked out from here, and he would benefit a lot. Not to mention the great breakthrough in the flesh, he would also awaken the spirit of the Ancestor Stone. Of course, for Dai now, there is not much attraction. After all, he has gone his own way now. His Tao is not the Tao of heaven, nor the Tao of martial arts, the Tao of immortals, etc., but the Tao of the Lord of the world. Seriously speaking, it is the way of creation. It's just different from the god tier Pangu who created the world in chaos and transformed into a great world. He already has a small world, and then he will continue to devour and grow. But when his world grows to the level of the prehistoric world, that is when he reaches the Pangu god tier level. But all of this is temporarily over. His eyes swept across the ocean of purple gold ability. Dying crossed the hook again, twisting the cat space. Now that he hooks again, he has come to the very center of the energy ocean. Standing here, you can clearly feel that the surrounding energy is constantly converging, condensing, and entering, ADBF, into an ancient and powerful breath. Ran lowered her head slightly, and saw the lens where the purple gold energy converged. It was a huge figure with a body exceeding 10 feet. At this time, it was sitting cross-legged on a special pattern. That pattern has the power of devouring according to the rules, helping those sea-like purple gold energies to gather and condense, and then flow along the giant's natural breathing, continuously entering the specific body. And above the giant's head, a strange talisman was suspended, and at first glance it seemed to be looking at this world. The purple golden energy flows from this talisman. The Lord of Devouring's last resort. Has the great desolate ancestral talisman tempered the body again? 9. Ran understood everything in an instant. In the plain war that swept the world back then, the ending ended with the talisman lord burning his life to seal the alien demon emperor, but the latter never died, and there were countless alien demons left to bring disaster to the world. It was the main force of the ancient times who led the 8 men to take on the battle, and after repelling these strange demons, they chose to hide in the gutter. But even so, it was a tragic victory and not a complete victory. The 8 great masters of the ancient times were all seriously injured, and Ancestor Fu was burning the cracks in the sealed plane of reincarnation in order to expel the alien demons. Before his fall, Fu Zhu used his last strength to send the Ice Lord into reincarnation. And Icicle is from the Ice Spirit clan of the Dion world, a closed disciple accepted by Fu Zhu, who has the power to help people enter the ancestral realm. She once made an agreement with Fu Zhu that if she finds someone who is willing to give her life to protect her, the power released will help him become an ancestor and save this plane. Lord of Life and Death, Triple Reincarnation Tribulation, first disciple of Ancestor Fu, senior sister of the 8 ancient lords, ancestor of the Undying Holy Whale clan, was seriously injured in the First World War and was rescued by the Devouring Lord, but finally fell seriously injured enter the cycle. The Lord of Devouring, the Triple Reincarnation Tribulation, the Master of Devouring Ancestral Talismans, the second of the 8 ancient lords, second only to the Ice Lord, but the talent is the worst among the 8 lords, but the overall strength is the strongest among the 8 lords. During the First Plane War, he burned Samsara to protect the other 6 masters in a dying state, and his soul was scattered. The Lord of Darkness, the Triple Reincarnation Robbery, was rescued by the Lord of Devouring, but was forced to recover from a deep sleep. At this time, he was responsible for the suppression of demons in the Falling Dragon domain, and its weapon, the ancient sacred weapon Wood Expulsion, was the 4th Dark Holy Sickle. Advertisement: the other masters of the ancient ancestral talismans were also rescued by the Master of Swallowing, but they were all slumbered. And now, the purple gold-colored giant in front of Ran is the Lord of the Wilderness, the sea giants of the Chaos Sea, who suffered heavy damage in the first plane battle and was rescued by the Lord of Devouring, but was forced to sleep and recover. He built a prehistoric tower on Wowie Island to condense the recovery of the prehistoric spirit. Apart from the lost Lord of Devouring, the one who reincarnated life and death, and the Ice Lord, he was the most injured. And now, looking at his skin is extremely rough, but there is an indescribable strength hidden under the skin. Unsurprisingly, this great desolate lord is currently the most physically powerful person in Xuanchen continent. Lord of the Wilderness, wake up! Ran came to a Tenjong position in front of the purple gold giant. The comparison between the two is like an ant in front of a giant elephant. Ran can clearly feel the power of the body of the Lord of the Wilderness. It is no exaggeration, one punch can destroy several planets. The Xuanchen continent is several times the size of the Earth, but the battle of the ancient masters can be earth-shattering. You can see a Madara. Om. With the sound of dying, the majestic and vast purple gold light bloomed from the ancestral talisman. The next moment, the tightly closed giant eyes of the purple gold giant slowly opened, and the purple gold brilliance flowed in front of them. When seeing the die, a powerful coercion swept from the purple gold giant. In an instant, Ran felt like a small boat in the stormy sea. Go to the end of a person with your body. What a powerful die. Putting it in the world of catastrophe, it will also be a stunning and beautiful generation. If you put it in the prehistoric world, the Wu clan should like it very much. 99. A powerful force naturally rises. That is the breath beyond the 9th order, and it is also the breath of the ancestral realm. Although human immortals are not as good as Earth immortals, they are only half immortals, but they are also real 10th rank. What's more, Dai's combat power can be above that. Ran lightly, sending a message into the mind of the Lord of the Wilderness. Not to mention that the demon emperor who dared to escape from the seal would not be an opponent who would take it easy. Who are you? The Lord of the Wilderness asked expectantly. The alien demon is the enemy of all creatures in the world of shame. In this way, the crisis of heaven and earth can be solved. Advertisement, roar. No wonder the talisman master sacrificed himself without hesitation to seal the demon emperor. The Dion world is the world that Xuanchen continent is attached to. Some things are made up, some are real information. Ancestral Realm. The Ancestral Realm, in the catastrophe world, is nothing but the Supreme Being. Getting used to the transmission of information, Rand doesn't like to open and end too much by himself now. The fellows of Master Fu and Master Ice come from the world of Dekong, but they were reborn in this world. Now they have solved the mystery in the womb and regained the cultivation base of the previous life. They are quite clear about the origin and purpose of the talisman, but they didn't expect the origin of the alien demon to be so great. It's too troublesome to explain, you understand it yourself. It is said that now, as a strong ancestor in the Ancestral Realm, Rand can completely strengthen the seal left by the talisman, and then seal the alien demon emperor for a difficult year. That is the natural enemy of the creatures in the Dawi world. But after the Lord of the Great Desolation had digested everything, his heart was shaken unceasingly. The future is dark. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. A bunch of information emerged. Senior, what do you want me to do? The Lord of the Wilderness widened his eyes, and there was disbelief and ecstasy in the giant eyes. In an instant, he knew Rand's true identity. The purpose of dying is the same as that of the talisman and the demon emperor, to find the embryo of the plane and promote the heavenly supreme. Above the earth supreme, there is the heaven supreme, and even the legendary dominion realm. He could feel the aura that belonged to this world on his body, because of the double-piercing door, so it should be a creature from the Xuanchen continent, at least not the demon side of Dammit. And this time, enough die to continue to break through and become stronger. Because, the strongest Lord of Devouring is dead. It seems difficult for the most talented Ice Master to advance to the Ancestral Realm in this world. And now, the dyed hook now sweeps away the darkness. The alien demon emperor was suppressed by the heaven and the earth, and his strength was not enough to exert his strength, but he could easily destroy their 8 ancient masters. As the disciples of the talisman, the most top-notch existence in this world, they are too aware of the gap between the peak of the reincarnation realm and the ancestor realm, that is the police of cloud and mud. The Lord of the Wilderness saw hope in Rand, and the seal left by the master will dissipate after the year of the pot. These ancient masters are trying to restore their strength as much as possible, but they are still desperate in their hearts. Chapter 234 The Magical Effect of Fairy Beans, Conquer the Prehistoric Sect, The Chess Pieces Fall. Subscribe. Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. I didn't expect that the world outside Xuanchen continent would be so exciting. The catastrophe dominates the world, is it the hometown of the master and the younger sister. The alien demon is just one of the evil races, and the evil demon is the enemy of all beings in the Shame world. Understood. But after reading all the information given by Rand, the Lord of the Wilderness directly believed it by 7 points. First of all, with the strength of Rand Ancestral Realm, he can easily destroy him in his heyday, and even more warning now. Rand can also snatch away the ancestral talisman of the wilderness, there is no need to go to great lengths to deceive him. The breath of the same ancestry and the same origin cannot be faked, and it should not be a different demon. In order to deceive him, there is no need to make up so many lies. Then what are you here for? The Lord of the Wilderness asked respectfully. Rand's strength, and the same catastrophe as Shizun's talisman, dominate Qinshan, so he respects. Do you know the Great Desolate Sect? Rand asked with a smile. Hongwangzong. The color of thinking flashed in the great brilliance of the Lord of the Prehistoric. In this world, the methods with the word, prehistoric, are not simple. Soon, the Lord of the Wilderness thought of a legacy he left behind. Senior, are you referring to the Human Territory Prehistoric Sect? Human Domain. Dai whispered softly. Quickly reacted, the Lord of the Wilderness should be referring to Xuanyu. After all, it has been difficult for many years, and some changes are normal. The name Human Domain is also appropriate. I remember that the monsters in the Demon Domain and the human race in the Mysterious Domain often fought each other across the Sea of Chaos. Among them, the Tianya Diao clan and the distant gate of the Dongxuan Domain were dead enemies. It should be this prehistoric sect, do you know? If it is this prehistoric sect, it should be a lineage left by the younger generation for fear of falling and going to inherit. As expected, it should be easy for you to conquer this sect. As long as this sect still has the power to inherit my bloodline, or to cultivate my skills, it can be easily recruited, but if there is no such thing. The Lord of the Wilderness said this, and then murderous rhyme appeared in his eyes, then he has to change his name. This is not to say that the Lord of the Great Desolation is domineering. But he is very clear that the sect that can be infected is definitely not ordinary, and it should be the top of the continent. A sect of this level must know the meaning of the word, prehistoric. If they dare to use it without a source, it is a blatant provocation. Then he is the master of the prehistoric world, and naturally he will not be bullied to the end and endure. Very good. Rand nodded with satisfaction and smiled. Then you will go to recover the Hongwang sect, then follow me and serve as my new sect master. At that time, you go to Jushan Taiching Palace for me and me to ask to marry their young palace master. Advertisement Lord of the Wilderness. You went to great lengths to find me, and then regain the prehistoric sect, just for a woman? Wait, Jushan Taiching Palace. Is it the Jushan Taiching Palace who understands the Supreme Being? Of course. Marrying the young palace master. I understand. 99. The Lord of the Wilderness knew what Rand was going to do. Also for the Son of Plains. But it is also a good thing to be dyed, and it will definitely be regarded as a creature of this party. To deal with strange demons, such a strong person is needed. As long as you know. Ran nodded with satisfaction, and he liked talking to smart people. But before that, destroy the minions of some alien demon emperors, such as those palaces, and the basic demon realm. 22. There is a murderous aura in the dyed voice. The Lord of the Great Desolation suddenly brightened. He and the 10 great palaces of the alien demons are deadly enemies. If he is willing to take action to obliterate them, then he will no longer have the slightest doubt. Senior, as long as you can destroy the alien demons, let Xuantian continent connect to the Big Kong world, and let all living beings have a broader future, the junior is willing to follow you, but the current situation of the junior. The Lord of the Great Desolation was a little helpless. His injuries were too serious, and it was estimated that he would have to recover for more than 10 years. Can't get out now. Otherwise, as he said, as long as he can kill the strange demon and gain a life for this world, he doesn't mind following the die. Of course, the premise is that the die will not harm the world. Little Road. Ran thought for a while, and popped a mouthful of fairy beans towards the Lord of the Great Desolation. Isn't that what this rule fairy is used for? What is this? Hong Huang's eyes narrowed, and he controlled Shadow not far in front of him, showing doubts in his eyes. What's the use of these unremarkable-looking beans? This is Shadow, which can restore your injuries and lost energy in order. What? With this bean? Yes, with this bean. 11. This. The Lord of the Wilderness felt that his cognition had been impacted. This bean gave him the feeling that it was too ordinary. How could it be possible to recover from his trauma in an instant? You must know that he has seen all the strange things in this world, and he also has the ancestral talisman. But even ancestral stone has no such effect. Advertisement. You won't know if you eat it, Rand didn't explain. The Lord of the Wilderness is also a straightforward character. He expected that Rand would kill him just by moving his fingers, and he swallowed it without doubting anything. What? Strange power blooms. The Master of the Great Wilderness felt that his injury was repaired at an amazing speed. The Great Wilderness chi in his body began to soar, and the connection between himself and the Great Wilderness ancestral talisman began to recover. This bean was in front of him, just like a grain of sand in the eyes of a normal person. But he is actually repairing his injuries and restoring the depleted spirit of the Great Desolation. And even the spiritual wounds left by the pharaoh's return to the robbery are being repaired. Buzz. The whole process did not take more than a minute, and the Master of the Great Desolation felt that he had returned to the peak period. No, due to the deep sleep in this rough year, due to the life and death experience of the year, and the repair of the trauma of the primordial spirit, he feels that his strength has gone further and has reached the level of touching the ancestral realm. If time is enough, he is sure to take half a step. And if Ran is right, he can really go to the world of catastrophe, and he has the confidence to become the supreme being. Luo Hong, thank you senior. The Lord of the Wilderness reduced his body to about 3 meters, and bowed solemnly to Ran. The help that dying a bean brings to him is like the grace of regeneration. And such wonders must be very precious. He Luo Hong is not an ungrateful villain. You're welcome, it's nothing compared to your sacrifice for this world. 33. Ran smiled indifferently, and then said a string of news that excited Luo Hong. You stay in the Great Desolate Tower near the Chaos Demon Sea, and the place where the Lord of Flame sleeps is in the sea. Sleeping in the core hinterland of the Tianyao Sable clan in space. The Lord of Darkness sleeps in the Dragon Domain in the Demon Domain, and uses the power of the Dragon Veins to suppress one Demon Domain. 99. 0 katakana middle dot ask for flowers katakana middle dot. I also know the reincarnation of the Lord of Life and Death and the Ice Lord, and I can tell you to protect them in advance. Even the Lord of Devouring, who you think has fallen, I also know where his remnant soul is, and I have a way to help him recover. When you help me deal with the prehistoric sect, I will give you immortal beans to help other sleeping ancient masters make money, and I will also help you save the devouring master. 99. For the ancient 8 masters, the idea of dying is to conquer. These 8, when he has completely opened up the passage between Xuantian continent and the great rough world, will definitely be able to become the ancestral realm, Earth Supreme. Even more than 99% of the creatures have the opportunity to break through the Heavenly Supreme. That is the 10th and 11th rank. Must have income. Thank you senior. Luo Hong was overjoyed. He really did not expect such a surprise. The original 8 masters of ancient times, after a rough year, actually had a day when they gathered online. Okay, that's really good. To do this, you only need to be loyal to Ran after recovering the Hongwang sect, and then help him to marry the young master of Jushan Taiching Palace. Advertisement with the strength of Yi Ran and the generosity of his subordinates, this is no problem at all. 0 On this day, countless powerful beings moved. His demon spirit was a little unwilling. If this person recovers, he will definitely work hard to help others recover. The fireworks space suddenly quieted down. At the core of the Tianyao Sable clan, the eyes of the Master of Space moved, but they did not open in the end. If anyone disturbs me, blame me for being rude. But he has already woken up, and he should come here to find me. There was murderous aura in Luo Hong's eyes. The sound slowly disappeared. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Later, Luo Xin, the sect master of the Great Desolate Sect, led people to kneel to welcome this powerful being, who he called the Ancestor. The Yan Lord was a little happy. At the same time, Lord Yan really wanted to release his breath to let Luo Hong know of his existence, but the sudden change made him reluctantly give up. At the same time, what was even more shocking was that the prehistoric sect did not rush to expand after Luo Hong became the sect master of the prehistoric sect, but changed its name to the Precious Hull and joined a sect named Yanwang. But for ordinary people, these are things they don't know. The Lord of the Great Desolation has a simple and honest character, an honest man, and is a good man among the 8 lords. After that, the information of this powerful existence spread throughout the Dongxuan region in an instant, and even spread to all directions. Damn it. If the Space Ancestor Talisman is still there, I can notify Luo Hong. Demon Domain. Countless strong men shook. Somewhere in the flame space under the Sea of Chaos, the Flame Master who was sleeping suddenly opened his eyes. Luo Hong's breath, he actually woke up first. Could it be some kind of adventure? Therefore, the name of Yan Wangzong resounded in this world, people? Only because of this person is codenamed the Lord of the Great Desolation, and he is the Supreme Former, who has survived the triple reincarnation calamity. The opportunity has come, only because a powerful presence descended on the Great Desolate Sect, one punch smashed the main peak of the Great Desolate Sect Weizhong. A girl and a girl's eyes flashed a strange light. And this time, but for some super and high-level dynasties and many sects in the Dongxuan region, today was an extremely shocking day. Daozong and Dian Dynasty. Damn it, the injury is too bad to break free. Damn its strange demon, when Luo Hong finds it, it will be your time of death. Chapter 235. The new list will be opened, and the chat group will join a new member, more than the Pope. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Time flies by. 5 days have passed in the blink of an eye. A lot has happened in several worlds. In the Sky World, a big event happened in the corner of the Northwest continent. Medusa, the queen of the snake people who lived in the desert, broke through to the level of Duzong and was able to conquer the surrounding area. The Yunlin sect, the largest sect in the Maga Empire, suddenly had a Duzong-level powerhouse, and announced that it would establish its friendly diplomacy with the snake people and become an offensive and defensive alliance. The status of the royal family of the Maga Empire became very embarrassing for a while, and only the royal family sheltered by the Peak Do Emperor was very insignificant in front of the 2 Dozongs. In the end, the empire had to cede an area close to the Monster Beast Mountains to the snake people, and handed over the land near the Yunlin sect, maintaining the control of the relative area in front of it. But everyone understands that if there is no special accident in the Maga Empire, it has already gone downhill. However, these things only happened in a remote corner of the Northwest Territory, which is relatively remote in the Sky World. It is just a normal change of forces and does not care much. The difference is that in the Chenkan world, which is at the same level as the Sky World, major events have occurred on the entire continent. First of all, it is the reinstatement of the Master of the Reincarnation Realm Peak Powerhouse who has survived the triple reincarnation calamity a few years ago, reminding everyone of the 320 Plain Wars before the rough years. Then, some of the news about Yi Demon, under the leadership of people with a heart, was instantly spread across the entire continent, and countless races recalled the catastrophe. As for the Lord of the Great Desolation, that was one of the 10 strongest people in the rough years ago. Now it has resurfaced, and it has been confirmed by some super sect controllers that it has the peak strength of the primary ancestors. And the ancestral realm is the talisman who saved the life of the heavens and the earth, and the alien demon emperor reached the height. That is a realm far beyond the imagination of ordinary people. To be precise, even if it is the reincarnation realm, it is not a powerful existence that most power lords can imagine, because these power masters are just ordinary wheel mirrors, or reincarnation realms that touch the reincarnation. In the reincarnation realm, there is also the saying of a catastrophe, heaven and earth, which means that every time a catastrophe is passed, the strength will undergo earth-shaking changes. What's more, what about the peak powerhouses of reincarnation realm? But everyone only knows that the reincarnation realm is powerful, but they don't have too deep feelings. After all, the language description is too pale. And Luo Hong, the Lord of the Great Desolation, really wanted to know what these people were thinking, and was very considerate to help them gain some insight. There are shadow stones spread all over the continent. 6 days ago, Hong Wangji took the initiative, but with one finger of the power of the flesh, he overpowered the 2 primary reincarnation runners of the Hongwang sect, who are known for their domineering fleshly bodies in the Dongxuan region. 5 days ago, the Hongwang sect changed its name to Hongwang Hall, and all of them joined the Yanwang sect, and the headquarters of the Yanwang sect was established in Fangwei, in the middle of the 4 profound domains in the south, and northwest. On that day, Luo Hong, the Lord of the Great Desolation, made another move, turning into a 3-dimensional purple-gold giant, and using his supreme power to fabricate a 10,000 jong mountain. That is, at this moment, there is an unparalleled strong hook on the mountain peak, showing unheard of terrifying power, turning the 10,000 jong mountain into a difficult mountain, that is, 1 weight and 1 gravity, which is extremely suitable for physical cultivation. But at the top of the 3 difficulties, the supreme powerhouse used an unheard of formation to condense the hook hole in heaven and blessed earth. It is said that the primordial energy is condensed into a liquid, and it will fall as rain every day. Advertisement. The most exaggerated thing is that there is a strong god tier pass, Tianwu School, Lingwu blood engraving, and it has a special place to temper spiritual power. In the end, it is also the top of the mountain, where the Yanwang sect is located. It was also on this day that everyone got to know the bright master of the Yanwang sect, Ji Ran. A lord who died the floods willingly followed others. To make the lord of the great wilderness, who once followed the talisman, become stronger and follow him willingly, no one dared to think about how powerful the sect master of the Yanwang sect was. Everyone is digesting this shock. 2 days later, that is, 3 days ago. But when everyone recovered a little from the shock, bigger news spread. The lord of the Hongwang sect, issued a clearing order to the Yuanmen as a human race. The Qing and Suppression Order is not a battlebook between the sects. It is the means that the talisman left behind to deal with the strange demons before the rough years. Yuanmen, it's actually a monster, Dongxuan Yu shook. Mysterious domain vibrates, the chaos demon sea and the demon realm also shook. After that, the headmasters of other super sects in the Dongxuan region brought out the experts from the death profound realm one after another. Everyone gathers at Yuanmen. It is not only to know the power of the Lord of the Great Desolation, but also to know whether the Yuanmen risked the greatness of the world and did not collude with the strange demons. In the end, the Taoist headmaster Ying Zixuan was the first to fail. It was only because when Luo Hong was clear about the decree of the Yanwang sect master, but a phantom rhyme in his eyes now shot a hook and a ray of light easily shattered the great formation of Yuanmen sect protector. Luo Hong's full-strength palm from the peak of the reincarnation realm fell, ushering in it as the legendary space ancestor talisman. And the controller of this ancestral talisman was the most important disciple of Ying Zixuan back then, and also the greatest pride of Taoism, Luo Tong. Luo Tong's spiritual sense was controlled, and the method was the method of the alien demon. So, after the Great Desolate Sect, Ying Zixuan brought the Dao sect to join the battle. After Daozong, the third force to join surprised everyone. It was actually the Judian Taiching Palace, which was vaguely aloof. But then the shock was relieved. Because the core strength of Judian Taiching Palace is too high, it can be said to be the nemesis of the power of alien demons, and it can be said to be a relationship like a natural enemy. Everything is not surprising. Later, Zhanzong and other sects also joined the Qing dynasty. With Luo Hongyao, Yuanmen was completely destroyed, and no one escaped. Advertisement: this Yuanmen, known as the strongest super sect in the Dongxuan region, was destroyed in this way. The news spread, and the mainland shook again. Some people are in awe of the strength of the sect master of Yanwang sect and the master of the Great Desolation. Some people marveled and scolded Yuanmen for being a lackey, and said that it was no wonder that Yuanmen was so strong. Some people envied the super sects that participated in the battle and got a lot of trophies. Yan Wangzong was actually very generous in this regard. The most enviable thing is Dao sect, because Luo Tong completely recovered under the casual treatment of sect master Yanwang sect, and completely pragmatic, he can break through to the wheel mirror in a short time. Luo Hao also mastered the space ancestral talisman, one of the legendary ancestral talismans, and the combat power was comparable to the power of the wheel mirror. Daozong immediately surpassed the original Yuanmen. But Dongxuanyu. No, it is the strongest sect in Xuanyu, the Yanwang sect. Xuantian continent was turbulent for a while. Just when everyone thought it was going to be quiet for a while. Another 2 days. That is, a day before now. The great master of the Great Desolation acted as a matchmaker, begging to marry the young master of the Nine Heavens Taiching Palace, Lin Qingzu, for the sect master of the Yanwang sect. At first, the current palace master of Judian Taiching Palace refused. Because the lineage of the palace masters of Judian Taiching Palace has a special mission. Even if the sect is destroyed, it cannot yield. But the sincerity of the Lord of the Great Desolation to take Union Wangzong's suzerain is also a betrothal gift. 3 medicinal pills that can protect the primordial spirit and must survive the calamity of reincarnation. 2 formations that can perceive the power of the Supreme. A ton of spiritual fluid of anger and death. In addition, there are countless spiritual martial arts, heaven martial arts, and soul cultivation techniques. Jushin Taiching Palace lost its voice. The palace lord has the heart to speak, but he can't make it bigger. Ding, the new member Wuhundian Pope joined the chat group. Lin Qingzu decided to save everything until after seeing the die. If you like it, everyone is happy. If you don't like it, repay it. Couldn't find a reason for rejection. Advertisement. Some girls, Lin Qingzu, who had broken through the nirvana realm a little, also wanted to know about the tasks of dying. Not only is there no crisis of death, but it is difficult to prolong his lifespan, and his strength has greatly increased. Emotions, it can be said that there are no emotions. Because there are many elders or former palace masters who have frozen themselves in the Judian Taiching Palace, they all exist as a background, but when the Judian Taiching Palace encounters a crisis of extinction, it will appear. But just after entering, a prompt sounded in the chat group. And Lin Qingzu, who happened to be far away from the Dian dynasty, only pondered for a moment before choosing to agree after receiving a letter from his master. Anger. Is that woman unhappy when such a man looks upon her? Today, he returned to the ninja world. And all this is just a contamination for the parties involved, but it is just irrigation. Not to mention other things, from ordinary disciples to sect elders, all can be used. He kept wandering in different worlds, following the steps. And if the sub-police takes the medicine pill, it means that the 3 sleeping immortals can pass through the first level of reincarnation and become the real reincarnation realm. On the Xuantian continent, countless people envied Lin Qingzu. Is not happy, conflict, all emotions surged, and finally turned into calm. It's really died too much, because the new gold list will be announced. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Even those male geniuses hate that they are not daughters. There are also some. After all, there is a feeling of being sold by Judean Taiching Palace. He went to the chat group to find someone to chat with. But she couldn't refuse the 3 pills that would definitely guarantee the person to survive the reincarnation calamity. Waiting period. Expect. As the palace lord of the 9 heavens Taiching Palace, can it be possible to disregard the interests of everyone for the sake of a young palace lord? What's more, the master of the Great Desolation also stated that the sect master of the Yangwang sect would personally train Lin Qingzu to marry her in the Wheel Mirror, that is to say, the latter would not break his life and not waste his talent before he cultivated the supreme being. There is a little bit, after all, the person who wants to marry him is a powerful being that can be followed by the Lord of the Wilderness. Although there is no real hammer, smart people know that that person will definitely break through to the Ancestral Realm 1.5, and he should be the strongest in the Xuandian continent. Bye. Chapter 236 Soul Ring World, the Emperor takes 10 meters in one step. Subscription. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, I miss the 5th day of dying the boss, why hasn't the boss come to talk? Legs up. Luo, how can the administrator miss her sense of existence? Didn't Ran say she went to Chengkan World to plan for opportunities? Zhu and Xiaoxiao, shit, I never thought that Sister Luo Hao would one day take the initiative for a man. Luo Hao, of course the mediocre cannot, but the strong are different. Open black lens bracket Tony Starr close black lens bracket. Then Miss Luo Hao, do you know if I have a chance for Iron Man? Luo Hao, what are you without your armor? Luo Hao definitely has the confidence to look down on people who rely on outsiders. Just because she is the only one who relies on her own force to kill a god who can't follow her and becomes a godslayer, she doesn't usually use her powers to fight against others, but uses her own martial skills and supernatural powers. Tony Starr, a very familiar question. I am still a charity, the richest man in Marvel, a close disciple of the Supreme Master, and the owner of Sharingan. Open black lens bracket Luo Hao close black lens bracket. A boring title. Open black lens bracket Aizen Huyusuk close black lens bracket. A close disciple of the Supreme Master, have you successfully joined the ancient school? Tony Starr, as expected of a smart person like me, his observation skills are indeed different. Hi Hara, I didn't expect Master Ji Yu Yi to accept you. Tony Starr, here I would like to thank Mr. Ran. After I had Sharingan, I went to Master Ji Yu Yi. He believed that I had extraordinary talent and accepted me as a disciple. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, amazing. I really didn't expect Iron Man to learn magic, plus Sharingan. I'm afraid it's not going to become a high-level Doctor Strange and a high-level Iron Man, and become a single universe level existence 03. Tony Santa, the single universe level is nothing, the so-called Earth level is only the 4th to 6th level, and it is only the Earth cleaning level. Still need to work hard. Hi Hara I Duan, as a scientist, you are so ordinary. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, you don't have any friends like this. When it comes time to send teleportation magic to the group, you can hurry up when you are old. Tony Starr, others are hard to say, but this one is fine. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, well, if you are harmonized by the sacred timeline, I will call on everyone to help you, although most of them, only the dive boss can help you. Open black lens bracket Aizen Sosuke close black lens bracket. Holy timeline, what is that? Open black lens bracket Tony Starr close black lens bracket. Aizen always speaks at critical moments, but I also want to know. Zhao Xiaoxiao, actually, I don't really understand this. I just know that there is such a harmonious and uncertain factor, a special institution that wanders on the timeline to maintain stability. Open black lens bracket Aizen Kuyusuke close black lens bracket. To keep the timeline stable, I remember you said that the Marvel Universe is multidimensional and there are countless parallel worlds. Is this organization to eliminate external events and make the world hook into new branches? Shi Xiaoxiao bro, it is indeed Aizen. Tony Starr, what a joke. If I understand correctly, this institution is to control fate and make everyone walk on the right path, why should they? Luo Hao, strength. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, technology. Advertisement. Tony Starr, it seems that I still have many opponents. Winning policy, then Mr. Tony, please make sure to send the basic magic to the group, and the widow can exchange for something valuable. Whitebeard, Gu la la la, here we go, the development of the first emperor is outlined. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, well, this is our first emperor, with the same track, the same book and the same text, and now we have to build Shanshan. Open black lens bracket winning politics close black lens bracket. I want Yanwang to be like a dragon, powerful to all realms. Ran, good ambition, then I'll give you a gift when the time comes. In the Qin dynasty, there were immortals in ancient times, and it is very likely that it was a low-level Dawei world that was downgraded, and now it is an intermediate-level rough world. But the background of the past is there, and it can return to the peak when it develops. With double penetration, Ran can simulate any kind of energy and convert the cultivation methods of different worlds. In other words, he could try to give the Chinkan law to Yingzheng, then the heavens and humans would not be the upper limit of this world. As long as he broke through the Nirvana realm, it would be a new level. Yingzheng, in this case, I would like to thank the gap in advance. In the world of Qin Shi, Yingzheng clenched his fists uneasy. Can the gift from the Dai Boss be ordinary? Once the master digests it, everyone in Daqin will be like a dragon. And those aristocrats from the 6 kingdoms who are disobedient, 100 princes. All have to be played. Zhu and Xiao Leo, the Dai boss is here, I have seen the boss. Open black lens bracket Tokasaki Kwangsun close black lens bracket. Alara, Ran-kun, long time no see, would you like to come to my world for a drink? Open black lens bracket Song Kui close black lens bracket. Solanum Nigram has seen brother die. Luo Hao dying, have you got the chance? Ran, it's not so fast, it's over for now, but do you just ignore the new members? Including a smile. Zhu and Xiao, new member. Duan, there really is, at Martial Soul Hall Pope, welcome, welcome. Open black lens bracket Tony Star close black lens bracket. This time I joined a new member, and I didn't find it because I was too engaged in chatting. Welcome to INR. Zhang Sanfeng, welcome newcomers. Open black lens bracket Song Kui close black lens bracket. Welcome to the newcomer. Zhu and Xiao everyone, before you find out who this person is, you should be welcomed first. Crowd. This is the first time they have seen such targeted words from Zhuan Xiao. Even when Aizen joined in, she didn't do it. Could it be that the newcomer is the kind of very evil person? Only Ran knew what Zhuan Xiao was thinking. Advertisement. Wuhun Hall, if it's not surprising enough, it's the disgusting world where the disgusting protagonist lives. Compared to Xiao Huohuo, who respects his teacher and does what he says, this protagonist can be described as a double standard, extremely wretched, and a villain Madara. 11. As for the Pope of the Spirit Hall, the two most memorable ones are. If that one is better than the Pope, the so-called villain is only relative to the protagonist. But if that difficult Pope is the most disgusting type of person for girls. But I think chat groups shouldn't give that kind of opportunity to join. The thoughts in my heart turned sharply, and Ran thought of a way. Open black lens bracket Feng close black lens bracket. At Martial Soul Hall Pope, is it hard to be sick? Dai conducted a high-end test. The position of the Pope of Wuhun Hall is in the same line, and the last term of the surname is Ting Zunji. It may be Shui, but it is right to ask Nan Zunji. Such a person is rude, even if he does not admit it, he will doubt it. And if you ask Bibixi directly, then it's easy to leak some information and bring trouble to Bibixi. On the contrary, if Bibixi heard that he was suspected of being Rao Shunji, he would definitely refute it immediately. Because it's disgusting. And the calculation of dying is correct, but it is not entirely correct. Pope of Wuhun Hall, who are you? Why are you talking in my mind? And it's hard to know my teacher. It was an accident that Zhuan Xiao and Ran lay with a mold on their faces. Cannot be surprised. BBC, who has become the Pope, must have gone through those taints, and personally killed Khan Shuan and succeeded in succeeding to the throne. How can such a person continue to maintain respect for the difficult disease and call him a teacher? So weird. And this time, Soul Ring Deluo, Wuhun Temple. Above a magnificent height, a woman wearing luxurious decorations and clothes, holding the Pope's staff in her hand, with a delicate and elegant face suddenly burst into a barely powerful aura. The soul ring hook appeared, and terrifying coercion shrouded in all directions. A figure emerges from suffering. Your Majesty, what are you doing to hang up? Dying, there are countless parallel worlds in the multiverse of the Marvel Universe. Iron Man even has women, and maybe the world of spirit rings has different developments. But she was also a daring artist and chose to receive it. Advertisement. Even if it is not a legendary god, it is close to the 99th level title Mutual Spirit Ring Envoy of God. Boom. Zhu and Xiao at Martial Soul Hall Pope, is it better than the Pope? Crashed. Zhu and Xiao, if I see you from my fellow villagers, then let's be old-fashioned. Saying that, Ran sent a red envelope to the Pope of Spirit Hall. I seem to have acquired some kind of special spiritual power and soul skill, and there are strange dialogues in my mind, and I am discussing the teacher in peace. Pope Bibixi said in a deep voice. 320. Next moment. Cho, the group member, Rai, will send you an exclusive red envelope. Ran, come on, just to verify a joke. Pope of Wuhun Hall, are there any people in Soul Ring Deluo who don't know me? What is your purpose in finding me? It's really a low-level martial arts world. It can be called the peak of the Emperor's 10-meter step. It's a shame. At this time, Zhuan Xiao and Ran have passed through God. The extremely titled Spirit Ring ambassadors who were discussing something nearby suddenly changed their expressions, released spirit rings one after another, and looked around, looking alert. The titled Spirit Ring envoy with the title of Chrysanthemum said with concern. He slammed the staff into the ground, and Bibixi closed her eyes, mobilizing all her strength as in her mind. Dyed eyebrows. Ran, she may think she has been hit by some kind of soul skill. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The next moment, a peculiar bitterness inscribed with dyed characters appeared. You are guarding the surrounding area, and I have a good fight with the guy who hides his head and shows his tail. 99. Zhu and Xiao Ran fellow, the situation seems to be somewhat different from what I know. Thunder is alive, but the other party actually mentioned that her late teacher was hard to come by, which made her unable to deal with things calmly. She needs to be careful. To be able to get her titled Spirit Ring Envoy in the Spirit Hall, the strongest force in the Spirit Ring, and to block the face of other titled Spirit Ring Envoys, the opponent's strength must not be weak. The Pope frowned suspiciously. Tony Star, can this also contact me? Originally, she planned to quickly end the meeting and go back to the bedroom to deal with the strangeness in her mind. Chapter 237 Compared to the Pope, soul rings are not suitable for dogs. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement. The spiritual energy of such a strong camp is more than that of the ordinary medium and rough world. I saw tears in the sky, but it only developed into a low-level martial arts. It really opened my eyes. No wonder. Those soul beasts who have lived for 10,000 years or even 10,000 years are so rubbish, warning that the great emperor will cry when they see it, and those 100-year-old monsters in the immortal world must cry. 99. If it were him who lived 10,000 years or even 10,000 years, not to mention becoming an immortal, it would definitely not be a problem to reach the pinnacle of the mortal realm. How could it be possible to become a titled spirit ring envoy around the 5th rank, and the combat power was reversed? It really disappeared from me. 9. Consciousness descended into the spirit ring world, and Ran almost couldn't help laughing. Based on his understanding, this world is close to the limit of strength, and a sword-titled spirit ring that reaches level 97 cannot shake off the sea god trident, and even this martial spirit who already has the ultimate spirit ring cultivation base in front of him. Even the Pope, BB Shi, couldn't be shaken. Originally he didn't believe it. Because of careful analysis, this is outrageous. What is the concept of 180,000 pounds? For ordinary human beings, nature is just out of reach. But seriously speaking, this weight is the weight of an ordinary tank in Kyushu. This weight may not be shaken by the innate powerhouse, but the Grandmaster of Tier 3 strength can definitely destroy it, and the Grandmaster Henglian can definitely lift it. As a result, you said that a top master in the Soul Ring continent who can breed 10,000 years and even 100 years of soul beasts can't even lift a tank. Who would believe it? No matter how you look at it, the status of the Soul Ring enabling continent's limit Soul Ring is that of the 9-star fighting saint in the world of the sky. As for the 9-star Do Shang, when he raised his hand and raised his foot, the mountain collapsed and the ground cracked, and the space shattered. It was possible to open up a space for people to live in from the void, and to the ultimate bloodline upgraded fused descendants, which could last for a few rough years. Even more police say that if you change to the fantasy world of the police, if you go to the extreme, not to mention destroying Yu-Jo, you can cross thousands of miles in just 2 steps, and destroying the planet at every turn is light. As a result, in the Soul Ring Envoy continent, the top masters can't even lift a tank. Isn't it outrageous? Originally, he once thought that the low martial arts of the Spirit Ring world was just a joke. After a certain Blue Star author captured the information of the world, he couldn't describe it because of the limited writing, which dragged Zheng Xiao. Because everyone has such a misunderstanding about the world of spirit rings, it stems from the fact that when the protagonist Tang Super Double Standard Dog Little San just got the Sea God Trident, other people wanted to try if they could hold it, but the Double Biaogu replied, if you guys want to take it, wait until you have a spirit power of level 95 or above, and if you want to take it up with your strength, only Boss Mu has the chance. At first glance, the force is slow. But when you think about it, you laugh out loud. Poseidon's trident, it is difficult for Bo Saishi to hold it. And this one is not an ordinary ultimate spirit ring envoy, but his spirit power has been nourished by the sea god's divine power, which is equivalent to the existence of a demigod. As a result, he couldn't pick it up. What a Shitmu can pick it up by his own strength when he reaches level 95, you seem very funny. And in order to explain the logic, Po Saixi's limit strength was written down to only 100,000 jins. A demigod, 100,000 caddies of great strength, so terrifying. This is outrageous. The absolute force is that the stupid author has limited ability and cannot present the real world of spirit rings. This is a plot that has no culture, forcibly touting the trident of the sea god, but it directly lost all the B grades of the ultimate titled spirit ring ambassador. The Poseidon god trident is only 108 jin in Tang Shuangbao Dog Shaosan's hands, but for a human, the weight will be doubled. That is to say, as long as Tang San uses the sea god trident as a hidden weapon, he can casually kill the ultimate spirit ring envoy. Advertisement: the dignified and extreme title Soul Ring Envoy, the top master of the Soul Ring continent, can't even carry 180,000 pounds? If this is perfect, as long as you reach the blood-moving realm, it will be 180,000 pounds with a single arm. That is to say, Tang, Super Double Standard Dog, and Xiao San can only use the combat power of the Sea God Trident to match the perfect first realm of blood-moving realm. As for the Cave Heaven realm and the Spirit Transformation realm behind that world, I am afraid that all the God Kings of the God realm will not be able to fight. It should be noted that in 12 years, Kyushu has produced an 80,000-ton hydraulic die forging press with a weight of more than 20,000 tons. In real life, a slightly better quality 4-column hydraulic press can generate 500 tons of pressure. If the gods of Soul Ring continent were in the real world, in terms of sheer power, they would not be as eager as a hydraulic machine. Wouldn't it be outrageous? At that time, Rand didn't even want to find any sense of reality in fantasy novels. It's just that the author is too spicy, and he has to be very careful with the numerical value, and the blowing is still limited. But now he knows that it is the cauldron of this world. Or, is the author dragging the baby out of this world? The Spirit Ring world is simply ridiculously weak. It is clear that the world environment is good. It is said that the Spirit Ring world of this lower plane is not better than the world of the sky, so if you want to come to the God world, it can be compared to the world of the Great Master and the world. The most important thing is that from the point of view that God can live forever, there is the existence of longevity substances in this world. If the supreme beings in the covered perfect world knew about it, they would be so angry that they would kill all living beings. Is there any wood or wood? It is estimated that the so-called strongest dragon god has the strength of fighting saints in the sky world, and it is not even a fairy. And the realm of the gods is just a small world created by Do Sheng, but the changes in the rules have become the central heaven of countless small worlds. Ordinary people from the Kyushu world can slaughter spirit masters below level 30, 99. Speechless, Ran regained his consciousness. In just a moment, he even explored the divine realm. Those divine kings are only comparable to Dozun in the world of the sky, but they are still the ones who have not experienced rank 9. The power of this world is complex, and the pattern is really too small. It is no wonder that the timeline has moved backwards, and instead the development of technology has gone. More interested in reading than the Pope, Ran looked at Pope Bai and withdrew his meaning. How do you want to read it? Pope Bai, who was finally able to act again, immediately asked, his eyes full of enthusiasm. Advertisement. Just a hint of chi made her unable to move. The strength of this person is estimated to be not ordinary in the realm of the gods. If Ran knew what the Pope was thinking, he would probably be pissed to death. Who is this insulting? I am afraid that Uchiha Madara to Duluo can make ordinary gods dance. Simple, you become my spokesperson in this world, and I will help you become immortal. 93. Xion, what is that? BB Pope's purple eyes filled with confusion. In your world, it is an existence above all gods. Forget it, you definitely didn't take a good look at the group introduction in some of the videos. Let me help you with popular science. 33. Ran waved a big hand, facing the Pope a little further apart. A stream of light flashed and shot into Pope Bai's eyebrows. Immediately, the sizing information appeared. The first is the explanation about the heavens and the world, and then there's the explanation about the world level. After that, there is a description of the Cha group and the division of the strength of the Cha group. Finally, Ran summed up the power of the spirit ring world and the strength of the gods in the gods, and divided them according to the level in the group. The titled spirit ring is a 5th order realm, but the combat power of 3rd order and 4th order. The realm of the upper god is very high, and it sublimates to the 7th level, but the 3rd level god, the 2nd level god, the 1st level god, the main god, the combat power ranges from the 5th level to the 7th level, depending on the type. The realm of the god king, the supreme god, has 8 levels, and so is the combat power, but that's all. Of course, although the realm is low, it can survive. It's Uranus class. The immortal above the god king. 19. I'm actually no more than the 5th order realm, the 4th order combat power. Weak. Then the Pope has a cognition of his own environment and strength. She never thought that her world is not weak, but the practice of complex body is very hot. A dog should not be a spirit ring messenger. From today, follow the dying. I have seen Lord Ran, starting today, I am willing to follow you. Then the Pope made a decisive decision. What Ran asked her to do was to unify the Soul Ring continent, and this was what she planned to do. Advertisement now it's just one more step to contract to become a follower. Not to mention that the result can become a fairy that surpasses the god king of this world, and it is tempting enough to give him a practice technique to help him break through and become a 3rd level or even 2nd level god in combat power. Smart decision. Dai nodded lightly, his body bloomed with supreme brilliance, and finally turned into a dyed character, which was engraved on the position of the Pope's neck, with an inexplicable meaning. The next moment, countless information emerged. That is the cultivation method of the sky world that Ran improved and created after simulating the ability of the spirit ring to make the world with the double piercing door. What? The next moment, the spirit ring on Pope Bai began to appear, with a full 18 light circles all right. The first martial spirit ring, yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 red. The second martial spirit ring, 6 black and 1 red, has not yet been completed. These spirit rings began to shatter, and then turned into strange powers and merged into Pope Bai. A strange aura began to rise from her. The first is that the body has been tempered, and there is a gathering of soul power in the Dantian position to form a gas sign. The air sign turned faster and faster, and soon it turned into a liquid state, then into a solid state, into a diamond shape, into a sea urchin shape, and finally into a golden elixir shape. In an instant, the body of the Pope showed that he formed an armor with soul power, stronger and stronger than the first martial soul times soul skill. But the deterioration hasn't stopped. Soon, a powerful aura rose within the Pope's body, and a substantial feather robe was born behind her. Soul power into wings. Soul King logo. Soul power is still improving. In fact, it is still skyrocketing. In the end, the wings disappeared, and there were cracks in the space around the Pope's body. Her body slowly floated up, and finally stepped on the void. It is different from the special soul skill flight support. Even more, the titled spirit ring makes it reluctant to let himself float. This is the use of the power of space. At the same time, countless soul skills were transformed into small supernatural powers and martial skills that were engraved into the Pope's body. The members of the spirit hall present were all shocked. Since the Pope is becoming a god, Chapter 238 Traces of the Reincarnators. The Ninja World Organization list is open. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Teach, Your Majesty the Pope, you, become a god. Spirit Ring World, Spirit Hall. The Moon Spirit Ring envoys and Ghost Ring envoys who were at the scene swallowed their saliva one after another, looking at Pope Bai with a shocked expression on their faces. The aura on the latter's body was several times stronger than before, and the space pressure brought by the aura alone made it difficult for them to breathe, and they felt awe in their hearts. And they are all titled Spirit Ring envoys, who are standing at the top of this world. To do this with breath alone, what else could it be than if the Pope was not a god? Becoming a god. Boring stuff. 39. Don't be a dog. Then the Pope sounded with a sneering voice. Crowd. Your Majesty, what's the matter? Is God better than a dog? How do they know that the Pope is a god who completely reveals this world, and the pattern is too small? In their world, a titled Spirit Ring envoy can live for 300 years, similar to foundation building, and after each breakthrough level 1 can live another 100 years, and the ultimate title and sub-soul ring envoy can theoretically live for 200 years. After becoming a god, there is also a lifespan limit in theory, but as long as you gain the status of a god and can enter the realm of the gods, then the lifespan of a god can always be provided with the necessary vitality due to the existence of the life god king, so it can live forever. Unlimited. To put it bluntly, it is actually a waste of time, and I don't know how to continue to break through to a higher realm. Those gods can be hot, according to the information given, even a first-level god can be injured by hidden weapons. Means nothing. Unlike her now, although her lifespan is not as good as that of a god, her realm and combat power have reached the 6th rank, which is comparable to a second-level 320-level god or even a first-level god. And she can feel the space between the god realm and the soul ring world, and she can break into the god realm at will. As for the question of longevity, as long as you grab the god of life and ask it, you will naturally be able to find the method of immortality and immortality. You should all switch to the sky technique, otherwise, your combat power will not be able to keep up with the realm, and it will be shameful. When your decoration is completed, we will be able to push this continent horizontally with absolute strength. 9. Wait until it is completely occupied, and then silently cultivate until it reaches the level of Soul Venerable. When the time comes, enter the realm of the gods. Bibi Dong raised her staff with both hands, and at the same time used the method of helping others to change their minds. Advertisement. The divine light shot into the bodies of Judu Luo and the others, and spirit rings appeared on them, turning them into cultivation materials. In the end, they all broke through to the Dozong level, and their combat power in the spirit ring world was comparable to a third-level god or even a second-level god, only a little worse than the Pope, the peak of the spirit sect. After the conversion, although the lifespan is greatly reduced, the combat power has soared, and the lost lifespan can be made up if the Pope enters the god realm and defeats the god of life. Now, mobilize the power of my spirit hall to recall everyone to the spirit hall, and convert them to the sky technique. Then the Pope issues orders. The entire spirit hall immediately moved. At this time, Pope Biju once again immersed his consciousness in the chat group. Zuan Xiaoxiao. What happened in the end? Why did the fellow Ran send a red envelope, and why didn't he say anything more than the Pope? Yihei. It is estimated that the Pope is receiving severe beatings from society. Open black lens bracket Tokasaki Kwangsun close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Zhong Sanfeng close black lens bracket. What kind of beating can a red envelope suffer? Yihei old man, your pattern is still small, the Dai boss is a 10th order powerhouse, can you use ordinary methods? Tony Star, then it's impossible to just do something with a red envelope, right? Aizen, no, I can also put Kyoka Suigetsu in the red envelope and send it, so the strong can really do a lot of things, but according to the rules of the chat group, they can't hurt each other. Haihara I and it is a direct form of not being able to hurt, so what if the boss destroys the world? Winning policy, it's so scary. Dying, destruction of the world and other means of indirectly harming group members are also not acceptable. The group consciousness will have a set of audits. Zuan Xiaoxiao, the fellow is here, what do you mean by trying to destroy the world? Dying, when he used his extraordinary strength in the pirate world, he received a group reminder. Fang Zhou tried to erase the god realm in the soul ring world, but he was unsuccessful, because it would cause world turmoil and cause the group members to be more powerful than the Pope. Affected, all I just wiped out Poseidon god. Everyone, you can do so much with one red envelope. Is this the boss? Zuan Xiaoxiao, then fellow, do you know why the Pope is a little different from what we know? Ran, I know, it should be the handwriting of the reincarnators, and it is a blessing in disguise than the Pope. Zuan Xiaoxiao. Reincarnation. Whitebeard, la la la. I really told the two of you that they are everywhere in the world. Open black lens bracket Yihei close black lens bracket. The reincarnation traveled to the spirit ring world and fluttered the butterfly wings? Ran. Well, I casually watched the long river of drying time, and found that there is a reincarnation person hooking up to replace the identity of drying Yu Shaoging, trying to compare the Pope's conspiracy, but I was hated by the latter, and the latter's life was rewritten. Zuan Xiaoxiao, replacement of identity. Dying, the task given to the reincarnator by the main god space should be of a type that has been experienced for a long time and belongs to the form of life simulation. Advertisement. Zuan Xiaoxiao, so it is, no wonder it is better than the Pope. Luo how, so, what exactly did the Pope have to go through? Tony Star, damn, this feeling that only we can't understand is really bad. Open black lens bracket Haihara I close black lens bracket, memory copy. Zhao Xiaoxiao, for this, you have to ask the parties whether they are willing. Better than the Pope, I have read the ADBF, group introduction and all the memory copies. If the administrator knows about my world, please rhyme the memory copies. I also want to know. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, if you have no opinion than the Pope, then of course there is no problem. Ding, the administrator Zhuan Xiaoxiao has released several large-scale memory copies, Soul Ring Envoy Continent. Ding, group members die download memory copy. Ding, group member Shizaki Mad 3 downloads. Ding, group member Luo Hao, open black lens bracket ding. Group members all downloaded the memory copy and went into immersive viewing. After a few seconds, open black lens bracket Tokusaki Kwangsun close black lens bracket. Hard to find disease, disgusting man, not even worthy to be swallowed by me. Luo Hao, it's so filthy, I really want to kill it with my own hands. Tony Starr, such a scum, it's a shame for us men. Open black lens bracket Eisen close black lens bracket. The narrow and weak people should be locked in a small dark room. Zhang Sanfeng, I have never seen such a shameless person, the old man almost broke his skills. Open black lens bracket Song Kui close black lens bracket. I feel more distressed than the Pope's sister. Better than the Pope, this. To be fair, I was also very angry when I saw the memory copy, but my real situation was different after all. He was even more angry than the Pope. He didn't expect that the teacher he respected, Ji Zunji, would be such a scum. But thinking about it carefully, she was not so angry. It's just a text description, and it's not too empathetic. It's a happy thing. Shizaki Kwangsun, beating security guards, killing soul beasts, using Saintus Hu, bullying Huo Shaozi, violating the rules of the god realm and wantonly interfering with the fate of lower planes and others, threatening his mother with a child, and talking about the test. There are also people who respect the strong. Worse than a real kid. Open black lens bracket Tokusaki Kwangsun close black lens bracket. Alara, you understand well. Advertisement. But if you break the rules yourself while shouting that the rules are correct, and don't allow the police to violate them, you will also cast aside each other for this. The meaning of dying is to say that she is beautiful, and it is impossible to make men indifferent. Open black lens bracket Tony Starr close black lens bracket. You are a god. Open black lens bracket Song Kui close black lens bracket. I hate people like this. Zhao Xiaoxiao. All in all, it's always a good thing that a tragedy doesn't happen, so are you going to be worse than the Pope's sister? Better than the Pope, well, at most, I decided not to seek revenge on Tang Hao, just kill Tang double standard dog San. Open black lens bracket die close black lens bracket. At this time, a familiar bell rang. Zhang Sanfeng. I would respect it if you say that strength is respected directly. You talk about benevolence, righteousness and morality, but what you do is to respect strength, which is always annoying. Open black lens bracket ran close black lens bracket. If you want to be more like the Pope, it is logic between symbols. Tony Starr, it's hard to say, maybe it's a lack of stimulation, and because of face and etiquette, I can't take the initiative to take the step of that beast. After all, she herself only hated Yu Xiaoging's disciple from the beginning to the end, so she was also insensitive to love, and directly swore to dedicate her life to Wuhun Temple, and Ji Yu Zunji never overstepped her, and was always good the teacher's performance, knowing that he was seriously injured by the hammer spirit ring, and finally died. This recognition, although a little frivolous, is also very real. Open black lens bracket Yihei close black lens bracket. Good double standard, applause. See this message. Normal people will like heroes, but they may not be heroes. Compared to the Pope in the age of the legal system of the Wuhun Temple, I don't care about the argument, let alone the teacher has died of serious injuries, why should I take it seriously? The Ninja World Organization list has finally begun to be announced. Zhu and Xiaoxiao, so, that jar of Zunji is really not greedy for beauty. Tinted corners of lips, it's the golden bell. Tony Starr, no one understands men better than me. Inside the spirit hall, it was rarer than the Pope to actually blush a bit. It seems that the Pope will take action against this double-standard dog. The group immediately started to complain. To put it bluntly, the strong make the rules, and what to do is how to do it. Open black lens bracket Song Kui close black lens bracket. Better minded than the Pope's sister. Aizen Huyusuke. I can't stand it, it's extremely hypocritical. For this, dying is not surprising. Chapter 239 Ninja World Organization Ranking. Eagle Squad is the last one, all members cage level, please subscribe. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Announcement of the Ninja World Gold List. All the souls of the Ninja World and the souls of the Pure Land can be seen on the Gold List. Close black lens bracket. Ninja World Gold List announcement. Restricted speech, rules remain unchanged. Gold List announcement. Note, anyone who will be on the list in the future can speak without restriction. Closing parenthesis. Gold List announcement. The list of ninja organizations according to comprehensive strength will now be announced. There are 30 places on the list, and all members of the organization will be rewarded with the same specifications. Boom. The golden bell rang. Immediately after that, 4 stereoscopic image hooks appeared. The leader is a handsome young man, wearing a black one-piece suit, with a white bandage wrapped around his right leg, with long bangs, and a confident look. It is Uchiha Sasuke who has been on the list. Behind Sasuke stood 3 people. On the left is a white-haired and purple-eyed boy with sharp teeth, a large knife on his back, a scroll and a water bottle on his waist. Moon. Right behind is a tall man, half longer than Sasuke, with orange hair, orange pupils, and a very burly figure, and Shigego is one of the tallest Hokage ninjas. This person is Orochimaru's research on the power of the spell, which is the source of the alternative acquisition of Sage Jutsu Chakra. He has a dual personality and is usually calm, but if he has more natural energy around him, he will inhale it himself and enter the alternative sage mode. The irritable character will be hooked, and he can't control the urge to kill until he meets Kimimaro and is rescued by Kimimaro. Since then, he has become the best friend with Kimimaro, and Kimimaro has also become the support of Zongwu's spirit. The last person wears the iconic red of the Uzumaki clan, with eyes the same red as the hair, wearing glasses, giving an intellectual image, wearing a purple top with a belly button, black hot pants, black stockings and the black ninja shoes are exactly Uzumaki. These four are the future members of the Eagle Squad. At this moment, it is displayed in advance. What? The three-dimensional image turns into a ray of light and shoots onto the golden list, and finally turns into a message. 20th place. Eagle Squad. Uchiha Sasuke, Onigami Suizuki, Jugo, Uzumaki Kamo. Seeing this ranking, everyone in the whole ninja world was stunned. This situation may be different from what they had imagined. 4th generation this little-known Eagle team can also make it to the list. It seems that the AB group between me and my brother is stable, and we can finally make it on the list once. Quote. Killer B. Kiss, and finally make the list again, great. Closing square bracket. Luo Sha. Uchiha Sasuke is just a kid who has just started 3-Tomo Sharingan. The hydration technique of the Ghost Lamp Shueyu Master is not long ago, and I have never heard of it. Uzumaki has many abilities but low combat power. This can all be on the list, see come to our Fungying group, the Ying group is stable. Closing parenthesis. Terumi Mei. Idiot, it is still possible for Fungying group to ask, but Ying group probably doesn't work. Quote. Open black lens bracket 4i, why? Open black lens bracket Terumi Mei. Reckless man, didn't you see the Eagle Squad ranked 20th? Advertisement. Open black lens bracket Wisdom Hashirama. Hey, this time, the announcement started from the top 20. Is the gold list only the top 20? How can it be repaired? Uchiha Madara. Idiot, the gold list preview is still in front, indicating that there are up to 30 people in the organization department. Closing parenthesis. Beautiful hand Hashirama. Madara, so why do you start from the 20th place this time? Tanker Tobarama. Niga, big brother. This specifier is only 20 standard for the organization department. Open black lens bracket Wisdom Hashirama. What is the standard of the organization list? Open black lens bracket Tobarama. Niga, if I knew, the 21st to 30th places are all Konoha's groups. Wisdom Hashirama. Tobarama, now is the era of great unification, why are you still focusing on a small village? Open black lens bracket Sugarhand Tobarama. Waterma, before I wanted to focus on a family, you said to focus on a village. Well, you are the eldest brother and strong, listen to you. If it is true that there is Hokage in the unified village, I said that we should focus on the ninja world, but you said that it is good to take care of the village. Well, you are still strong, I will listen to you. As a result, now, I think about Ichimura, and you told me to look at the ninja world. It's really a good double standard to play. Onogi. Mr. Hashirama said that in the era of unification of the ninja world, a village is nothing. Quote. Terumi Mei. I finally know why Hashirama-sama is so handsome. Luo Sha. The image is born from the heart. Beautiful hand Hashirama. Ha ha ha, yes. I think so too. Quote. Open black lens bracket Uchiha Madara. Good guy, at Uzumaki Mito, how can you get along with this guy for so long? Uzumaki Mito. The police said, I regret it, I knew I promised you earlier. Quote. Open black lens bracket Uchiha Izuna. Good guy, eat melon and eat Nissan's head. Closing parenthesis. Open black lens bracket Uchiha Madara. Mito, make it clear, when will I pursue you? Women only affect the speed at which I draw my sword. Open black lens bracket Orochimaru. Real Uchiha. Brother, false Uchiha. Woman. Open black lens bracket Uchiha Obito. Open black lens bracket Tanhand Hashirama. Madara, you almost got together with Mito. Angry, close black lens bracket. Sugar hand rope tree. Ah, I couldn't understand for a while whether the eldest grandpa was angry with Grandpa Madara, or the other way around. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket Tsunade. Rope tree, children don't understand so much. Open black lens bracket Uzumaki Naruto. So shouldn't we be discussing the organization chart? Nara Shikuji. The announcement starts from the 20th, indicating that only 20 meet the standard. Quote. Open black lens bracket Nara Shikamaru. Father, this seems to be different from what we guessed. Quote. Open black lens bracket Nara Shikahisa, but it seems to be consistent with the speculation of 5th generation, so the Eagle Squad can be on the list. Open black lens bracket Nara Shikamaru. Why didn't Mr. Korin take the 21st to 30th places as well? Close black lens bracket. Nara Shikahisa. It seems that there are some potential rules for the organization list. Die. Probably some kind of official recognition. Quote. Ran uttered a word that no one could understand. But I also understand a truth, that is, the organization list is not just a group of people to form a group to ask, it needs to meet a certain standard. Only organizations that meet the standards will continue to be on the list, and then they will be ranked according to their comprehensive combat power. This kind of feeling, as if to be on the summoning beast list requires summoning default contractable as a reason. It's like being on the weapon list, the weapon must be bypassed by the master. So the Eagle Squad is so-called officially recognized? 0. For flowers. The 4 people who were never related before now seem inexplicably boring. Countless people are calculating in their hearts, trying to find a way to be recognized by the so-called official. The Eagle Squad's improvement in this step is very fierce. If you just open your eyes through stimulation, there will be sequelae, which will give people a feeling of extreme extra menace of Uchiha, but on the contrary, if you slowly open Sharingan Guyu and even Mangekyo through exercise, it will not be affected in the slightest like dying. Just because it was 5th Hokage who contributed to the formation of the Eagle Squad, and listening to the latter's words, is obviously a prerequisite for knowing the organization list. The SWAT is the organization department that does not limit the Pure Land soul to form a team, not to mention more. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Wudungshuiji boundary, a kind of bloody that has never been seen before, represents the potential of the ghost lights and water moon. Now it may follow the strength of elite Jonin, but in the future it will be at least cage level, and even threaten Chaoying. At this time, the reward of the organization list is updated. Uchiha Sasuke. 3 Tomo Sharingan evolves into Mangekyo, doesn't overuse pupil strength and vision. But the slightly smarter people don't want to do that anymore. Advertisement. After all, the Chara volume and attribute increase brought by the fairy body, as well as the convenience of being able to open the human mode, can make ordinary cage level super shade instantly. After all, the strength of the Eagle Squad looks good, but it is also the same in today's ninja world. This means that Sasuke, like his brother Itachi, has cage level power at the age of 13. 0. Chongo has a unique human body sage mode, and is now a complete master. If he follows the style of physical art, he will have a bright future in the future. And Uzumaki's potential is second only to Sasuke. If she is not good at fighting, she can also have cage level strength with a special ability. Even knowing all the circumstances, Ran, who has the strongest strength in the ninja world, can't do it. Why should they be delusional? Afterwards, Mitsutsuki, Shigego, and Uzumaki were all promoted. But in this case, he did not start the behavior of dominating the list. The Uchiha clan who opened Sharingan are so overbearing. Without considering the physique and exercise, the younger the Uchiha clan, the Sharingan Guyu number can reflect their own strength, because the Guyu represents the spiritual power, Yin-Dun Chara, that is, the composition, the spiritual aspect of Chara. It's definitely not that you don't want to, it's that you can't do it. Heavy objects. Perfect master spell mark, become a spell mark body, can be opened with sage mode person. Boom. And this is not an ordinary Sharingan, but a pseudo-eternal Mangekyo whose pupil strength is not as good as the eternal police, but if it is not used excessively, he will not be blind. Ghost Lamp Shueyu. The technique of hydration is advanced into fog and blood circulation limit, can dissolve water into fog, having the consumption of Chara. Uzumaki Fragrant Phosphorus. Uzumaki's physique becomes a fairy body, and various abilities are improved. The figure of the 7 swords carrying the weapon appeared. This also makes other people who have formed organizations look forward to being on the list. List reward. Self-ability optimization. The owner of the 3 Tomo Sharingan, at least has a Jonin-level police officer Charlie, which is the benefit of the skyrocketing mental power. Uchiha Sasuke's 3 Tomo Sharingan turned crazy and finally turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. Light falls. In the live broadcast room of Jinbang. The golden bell rang. 20th, Eagle Squad Chapter 240. The Resurrection Feast opened. The 3rd generation in Zhaozang will also be resurrected. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. A stereoscopic image appears. Rhyme 7 figures. These 7 figures have 3 things in common. All of them are wearing Wuyin village forehead guards, and there is a blade around them. They are the first group of 7 members of the ninja swordsmen of Karayan. And 6 of them are dead. The final position is a man with short black hair, no eyebrows, long sharp teeth, a large cross scar on the right side of his face, his ears and neck are wrapped with bandages, and the lower half of his face is painted with red stripes. He is the first beheading sword. As the owner, he once joined the Loquat 10 Tibetans of the Shao organization. To the left of Dao Shizang stood a burly man with long orange hair that reached his waist. He also had sharp teeth, a fluffy bandage wrapped around his neck, and green stripes painted on his cheeks. He was the first masseter muscle. The owner, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Fish. Standing on the left of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Fish is a middle-aged man wearing a ninja hat, with Kurikan's signature sharp teeth, a fluffy bandage around his neck, and a beard on his chin. Through grass and wild bait people. Standing on the far left is the Black Hole Ya, who has been on the list many times and has the ninja knife Thunder. His existence has raised the strength of the first group of 7 ninja knives to a higher level, and may also suppress the Eagle Squad. Reason. Then there are the 323, standing on the right of Shizang. The first is a man with long yellow thorn-like hair, wearing an Anbu mask on his face, a fluffy bandage wrapped around his neck, and slender limbs. Li Hao skewer pills. The person on the right of Kuri Hao Kushimaru is a man with long black hair, with a vertical braid and long beard, with thick lips and sharp teeth. The left eye is covered with a black cloth, and the head and neck are wrapped in bandages. The middle-aged man was the first user of Bakugo and Momo, and together he was called the Ruthless Duo, Wuli Jinba. Finally, the first owner of Shuangdao Zhandi, This person is the same as second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon Moon, and the second owner of Double Sword Shenxian, Ghost Lamp Full Moon. Both belong to the Ghost Lamp family, named Ghost Lamp Wuyue. The stereoscopic image turns into a beam of light and enters the list. 19th. The 7 people of the generation of ninja swords, Tibetan, Watermelon Mountain Blowfish Ghost, Li Hao Chuanglun, Tumsao Yebaran, Wuli Jinba, Black Hole Lei Ya, Shui Lan Wu Yu, with ninja tools. Open black lens bracket Terumi Mei. The 19th place is the first generation of ninja swordsmen, as expected. Ghost Lamp Shuiyu. The deceased can also be on the list, that's great. Orochimaru. This is the particularity of the organization department. Quote. Nara Shikamaru. The first generation of ninja swordsmen have a high reputation in the entire ninja world. They are capable of textbooks. This team must meet the qualifications for the list. I understand the meaning of the official recognition. Quote. Nara Shikahisa. The response is good, now I am curious about what rewards these 7 will get. Quote. Tobarama. 6 of them are dead, most likely resurrected. Open black lens bracket Orochimaru. If he is resurrected, what reward will Black Thunder get to be considered the same? Sasori of Akasha. Suddenly looking forward to it. Quote. Ninja World. No matter how you are, smart people are speaking. Does it seem like your Konoha is very capable? Advertisement. However, great curiosity has also been hooked. Will the reward really be resurrection? Or just resurrection? Being named an organization, perhaps with additional certification? How should the Black Hoe Thunderfang's reward be constant? In the anticipation of everyone, the 1-minute countdown ended. Rewards announced. Number 19. The 7 Ninja Swordsmen. List rewards. 1. Taoba Shazang, Watermelon Mountain Blowfish Ghost, Li Hao Xuanwan, Tongsao Yebiran, Wulijinba, Water Lantern Wuyu Resurrection, possessing the weapon in front of him and turning it into a spiritual weapon, you can only use it yourself. 2. Black Hoe Thunderfang, Immortal Level Stand-in Doll, on the list, can be placed anywhere, can withstand a death instead, and is immune to soul attacks below immortal level. Weapons can be perfected for refining, 100% use the weapon ability, do not agree that the police can't use it. Rewards are out. Immediately after, everyone saw that the live broadcast of Jinbang was switched to the Black Hoe Leia. What? 7 beams of light fell, and one of them covered the Black Hoe and Thunder Teeth. Wait until the light disappears, replaced by the figure of 6 paths. These 6 people are really the 6 people in the first batch of ninja swordsmen, except for the Black Hoe and Leia. State. The only difference between the 6 people and the Black Hoe Leia is that they are all barehanded and have no weapons. The spirit appears. Blessed to the heart, when the 6 people of Shizang make one movement at the same time, the next weapon phenomenon is the ninja sword they used during their lifetimes, but it seems to be different. The golden bell rang. The scene of the Jinbang live broadcast was switched, and 2 figures appeared in the sky. One is a middle-aged man with dark skin, light yellow hair, a very strong body, wearing a white cloak, a green shuriken style logo tattooed on his shoulders, and a wide belt and heavy armor. The other is also a middle-aged man, with 6 points similar in appearance to the former. He also has dark skin and light yellow hair, but wears black sunglasses on his face, has the character Iron on his right shoulder, and wears 7 knives. The class has traces of horns. It was 4th Reikage, the former Land of Thunder, and his younger brother, 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer B. Lightning-style thunder plow hot knife. Advertisement. The 2 hands wrapped in thunder and lightning collided, and then the 3-dimensional image turned into a beam of light and shot into the list. 18th. Group AB questions, 4th Generation I and Killer B. Open black lens bracket 4th Generation I, then, we are on the list. Killer B. That's for sure, bro, there is no Yalu. Open black lens bracket 4th Generation I, you can finally get a reward. Open black lens bracket Killer B. Coconut, I have already been on the list, late, close black lens bracket. Die. But we actually succeeded the 18th? Killer B. No Yalu, yee, big brother, this may have something to do with our lack of people. Close black lens bracket. The 4 Great Eye. The strength of the 2 of us, no matter how many weak people are, the 7 people of the ninja swords are not in the back. Open black lens bracket Killer B. Big brother, don't you know it after reading it? There was a quarrel between the AB groups because of their rankings. But after one glance, the others turned their attention to the reward of the 7 ninja swordsmen. Open black lens bracket Tobarama. This stand-in doll is a bit interesting. It can actually be resurrected at a certain preset time, which is equivalent to an extra life. Orochimaru. The other 6 people were resurrected, and the Black Hole Leia didn't die, so he had a chance to be resurrected. The gold list is really fair. Pharmacist Ghost. Orochimaru-sama, is it more interesting than this is not a spiritual tool? Open black lens bracket Orochimaru. That's true. Those auras seem to be the same as the ninja swords they had in their lifetimes, but Jinbang shouldn't use things that belong to other people as a reward method, all are copying. Close black lens bracket. Sasori of Red Sand. If it is a copy, it should not be called a spiritual tool, and what kind of ritual refining method Black Thunderfang got, considering fairness, it should also matter 0. Orochimaru. Speaking of this, I remember that in a treatment that I once studied, it was recorded that the Uchiha family used the power of the Mangekyo Sharingan Master God, but they were still Yuan Sanohu, and different people had different Susanoo masters. Magic weapon. Open black lens bracket Tobarama. This is a fact. After opening Zonengu, you can awaken the exclusive magic weapon, just like the exclusive pupil technique, and you can also master the fixed magic weapon, just like the fixed pupil technique like Izanami. Dao Shizang didn't hide anything. After all, the effect of the 7 ninja knives is not a secret in the ninja world. Except for the fact that the spiritual tools they summoned are easy to hide and can be improved with the improvement of spiritual power, there is no district police. Open black lens bracket Uchiha Madara. You analyzed it carefully. Why did you suddenly analyze the power of our Uchiha? Silent? 4 figures appeared. Reward distribution between groups A-B. And this is only in the normal state. If it is matched with lightning style chakra, the defense will be even more amazing, which can be described as horror. Yo, Killer B. King Kong is not bad everyone. Advertisement. The reward for the 2 lightning style body refinement maniacs is to strengthen their bodies, to the extent that ordinary bombs cannot damage them. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The eyes of countless people became strange. This is the meat shield mage. Satisfied with dying. 2 great big hands again, 99. Ran. The ninja swords are still in the hands of those on the weapon list. The spiritual weapons possessed by these people after resurrection should be the same as the Zanpakuto the Bai got from their own souls. Open black lens bracket wisdom Hashirama. Ha ha ha, I'm really smart. Taoba Tenzo. Ran Sama Takami. The spiritual tool is bound to our soul, it can be used in reality, and it can become stronger as our spiritual power improves. It has the same ability as the 7 ninja swords. Black Ho Thunderfang. The method of blood refining, literally, the Thunderblade can become stronger along with it in the future. It's actually Konoha F4. The strength of these 4 old guys is actually stronger than that of Group AB. If paired with fairy beans. Ran. It seems that in this rebirth, the 7 of you will be able to enter the cage level stably after a firm thought. In the future, you will perform tasks as a group. Renmara is a foreign aid. The golden bell rang again. At this time, following the boss tank is the kingly way. Now if they even have 8 inner gates, they can get started with a little attribute, and then they can get through it. 4th generation I. King Kong is not bad. Invulnerable to guns and bullets in a natural state, no damage to explosions. A generation of 7 people. Yes, Rai-sama. Ran. I didn't expect 1st generation to be so smart. 17th. A B group questions at this time. Moreover, the composition of Chara is physical energy and mental energy. The 2 people who have King Kong's indestructible body, their Chara volume is afraid that even Kisame, the tailless beast, will cry when they see it. Overall, both brothers have the power to come close to 6 paths. At this time, they can even briefly have more strength than Might Guy. List Award 1.5, Yansho Hashirama. Madara, what does it matter? Those who can resist Susanoo can resist without knowing the information, and those who cannot resist can resist knowing the information.